Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto was Yugioh GX neglected. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Neostardustdragon and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1 The Chosen Pupils. Many people had gathered inside the Kaiba Dome for the Duel Monsters World Tournament Junior Cup. The crowd watched with excitement as many young duelists clashed against one another, all for the chance to meet the king of games himself Yugimoto. The MC walked into the center of the arena to announce the next match. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the final match of the DM Junior Cup preliminary rounds. The MC exclaimed as the crowd let out loud cheers and applauded. Now in the red corner, a young up-and-coming duelist who's made a name for himself in his hometown, Jump Whisker. Humming from the red entrance was a 12-year-old boy with noticeably puffy lips wearing a gray beanie and an orange sweater with black outlines, was waving out to the crowd with an obnoxious laugh to boot. His opponent was not as energetic as he was as he also emerged from the ground. He was the same age and had spiked blonde hair and blue eyes and 6 distinct scars on his face that looked like whisker marks. The young man was tall, lean and fit. He had on a black shirt and open orange vest, blue jeans with Converse sneakers. And his opponent, a true Duel Monsters prodigy Naruto Yuki. The MC shouted while Naruto waved to the crowd. Both duelists looked towards one another with Jump smirking arrogantly as he and Naruto shuffled each other's decks. "You might as well give up, kid, I'm gonna win." Jump taunted while Naruto stood calm and unfazed as he took back his cards. Both duelists ready? Both boys nodded. Begin. Let's duel. Naruto. 4,000. Jump. 4,000. Okay. I'll start things off. Jump yelled as he drew. "I'll start by summoning my Garnet. Battle Guard, 1,200s. On Jump's field was an blue ogre dressed red loincloth wielding a club glaring at Naruto. "And thanks to him I can bring out his brother my boulder BATTLEGUARD 1200 1000 in attack mode." A shorter orange ogre stood beside Garnet dressed in a purple loincloth. "I end my turn." "Is that all?" Naruto sighed as he draws. "I'll begin by summoning legendary 6 Samurai Mizuho, 1600 1000 in attack mode." A red-clothed female samurai wielding twin scythe swords jumped onto the field in front of Naruto. "Next, since I have a Mizuho on the field, I can special summon legendary 6 Samurai Shinai, 1500, said Naruto. A blue-armored samurai wielding twin maces stood calmly beside Mizuho. "Welcome to the battle, Shinai," Mizuho said, greeting her brother with a smile under her mask. "Hi Nichin. It will be an honor to fight alongside you." Naruto smiled at both of his monsters' sibling affection. "And now that I have 2 6 samurai monsters on my field, I can call on my grandmaster of the 6 samurai, 2100. An elderly samurai appeared between Mizuho and Shinai. "Now I'll equip him with the spell United We Stand, giving him 800 AT points for each monster I have." The grandmaster's body was covered in a golden aura as his AT points rose. 2100 to 4500. 4500 AT points. Jump screamed in horror while the crowd looked amazed. "Okay, Mizuho, shine to destroy both his battle guards." Naruto yelled as both samurai sliced and smashed the ogres. "Naruto. 4,000. Jump. 3,100. And now Grandmaster, end this now." Naruto yelled as Grandmaster raised his sword above a now terrified Jump. Can't we be friends?" Jump screamed as the samurai attacked. "Naruto. 4,000. Jump. 0. The crowd stood in silence for a few minutes before bursting into applause. Naruto smiled as he waved to the crowd. His eyes soon fell on a depressed Jump. He walked up to his fallen opponent offering his hand. Jump looked at the hand with confusion before accepting it with a smile, earning more cheers at both boys' sportsmanship. In the stands by the exit, a young man Naruto's age looked down at the blonde samurai user with interest. He had raven black hair with golden highlights and blue eyes. He wore a blue shirt, brown pants and black and red sneakers. His name Yusei Fudo. "Now there's a real duelist." Yusei smiled at the thought of one facing Naruto in the tournament. The rest of the tournament moved by relatively easily as Naruto along with Yusei blew past the other competitors until only they remained in the final match of the tournament. Both boys had proven to be evenly matched both. On Naruto's field was his great Shogun Shien, 2500-2400, on Yusei's field his lightning warrior equipped with power Fram 2500-1200, both with only one face down. Both monsters charged forward, fist met sword as the two monsters clashed. "I now activate the trap card Rivals Epic Clash. This card increase my monster's attack points to equal that of your monsters, then we both receive damage equal to their combined attack points. Yusei explained. Naruto was in shock at first, but soon began to chuckle and scratch his nose. You know what that means, Naruto said, a sly smirk now on his face. Yusei nodded, his own smile to his face, sure do. A draw. They both said in their minds. Everyone watched as both monsters flew right to one another, a bright glow filled the arena, making everyone watch in awe moments before a huge cloud of smoke erupted from the explosion covering the dueling platform. When the fog cleared, everyone saw the score. Naruto. 0. Yusei. 0. And the tournament is a draw. Therefore the championship title is awarded to both Yusei Fudo and Naruto Yuki, the announcer yelled over the speakers as the crowd cheered for both young men, and the A door on the side of the arena slide opened. Yusei and Naruto waved to the cheering fans as they headed over towards the open door. Once inside, they discovered a hidden room within. They looked around the room. Before he noticed Yugi walking up to them from a corner of the room. Hello Yusei, Naruto Yugi said, his eyes showing a childlike nature, but also showed wisdom beyond what someone his age should possess. Your dueling skills were excellent. Thanks. Yusei and Naruto said in unison, Naruto giving a wide smile while Yusei bowed in respect. Young Kurobo and Rainbow Kurobo appeared over their respective partners' shoulders as Kurobo appeared over Yugi's shoulder, causing the three of them to gasp as the three Kurobos happily floated around each other. You have a duel spirit? Yusei and Naruto asked. Yes. Yugi said, still slightly shocked that both young men not only had one, but that they were also very similar to his own. Apparently so do you. Yugi snapped out of his slightly shocked state before he thought, I can see the potential in his eyes. If I trained him, he may even be able to defeat Yugi. Let his train of through drop as he walked up to Naruto and Yusei, surprising with a question. How would you like me to teach you all I know about duel monsters? I would love it. Naruto exclaimed with a voice overflowing. It would be an honor, sir. Yusei said humbly, counting his inward excitement. Very well, Yugi started to say as he smiled, starting today, you are my students, and I'll teach you everything there is to know about duel monsters. Yes, Master Yugi. They both said in unison respectfully to their new teacher, causing Yugi to chuckle a bit. This would be the beginning of a new journey for both Yusei and Naruto, and a destiny neither of them knew. The card slipped out of Yugi's duel disc and fell on the floor. Naruto picked the card up and saw that it was the Dark Magician Girl. The millennium symbol appears on his forehead. A blinding flash of light shot from the card. Soon a brown-haired dark magician girl wearing her usual outfit appeared. What the? She asked as she looked around the room, wondering where she was. Mana, is that you? Yugi asked in shock. Yugi? Dark magician girl, also known as Mana, asked. How did I get to this world? Naruto rubbed his head sheepishly and chuckled. Did I forget to mention I'm a psychic duelist? Naruto said, shocking Yugi. Sent from fast notepad. Ch. To the final test. Yugi is currently in the middle of a duel with all of his life points. On Yugi's side of the field are all three Egyptian god cards. Yugi has no other cards on the field and 3 in his hand. Yugi's opponents are none other than Yusei and Naruto. Yugi has just ended his turn. Yusei currently has Starsustragon on the field with 2500 attack points, Naruto has Odd Eyes ATK points equal to Stardust. Yusei only has 2 cards face down of the field, 1000 life points left, Naruto with only Odd Eyes. Naruto turned to Yusei. Okay Yusei, remember the plan? Naruto asked his best friend who nodded in response. I activate the magic card, Kizuna Drive. Yusei declared, revealing his face down. Yugi's eyes widened. That was a special card Yusei and Naruto had created together, it was the embodiment of what was the most important thing he had taught them, friendship. Due this card's effect, I can combine my teammate's attack point with that of my own, and it can't be destroyed in battle. That's not enough to defeat me, boys. Yugi said with a smirk, I know that taught him better than this. Who said I was done? Naruto asked with a smirk of his own. I activate my card face down of the field and activate my Kizuna Drive, this doubles my dragon's attack points. Odd Eyes attack rose to 5000. And when 2 copies of this card are activated on the same turn, they both gain each other's boost. Yusei and Naruto shouted in unison, no, our monsters' attack points rise to 10,000. Odd Eyes and Stardust burst with energy as the powers began to merge, in the form of radiant gold and silver aura, roaring with power. Now Stardust destroy Slifer the Sky Dragon. Yusei said. Stardust rose into the sky, unleashing a stream of silver energy towards the towering god card. Yugi's eyes were covered by the bangs of his hair, a small smile appearing on his face as his life points dropped. Yugi LP. 4000. This is it. Yusei thought hopefully. We finally beat Master Yugi. Naruto thought alongside his friend. After 3 years of training they finally defeated the king of games. Their thoughts were stoked when they heard their master speak. Yusei, Naruto, Yugi said, causing his 2 pupils to look at him, you've both come so far in the past 3 years since you began your training under me and have the hearts of true champions. Yugi praised. Thank you Master Naruto and Yusei kneeled bowing their heads. This tea. You both did well. They turned to see Yugi walking over to them with a proud smile on your face. Yusei, Naruto, you have come far in these past years, I am proud to be your master. Yugi said with a great deal of pride in his voice as he grabbed the Egyptian god cards from his duel disc. And as such, he deserves these. Both boys were shocked Yugi was giving them the Egyptian god cards. Really? They asked. Yugi nodded before handing the god cards to them. Yusei was given obelisk and Naruto Slifer. Congratulations, Naruto Yusei. Yugi said, her pride shining in his eyes. You're now the princes of games. Yugi stated with a proud smile. His phone suddenly rang with Kaiba's name on the caller ID. Yugi handed the phone over to Yusei and Naruto who said, hello as he put the phone next to his ear. Naruto, Yusei, I have a job I would like for you to do for me and Mana as well. Kaiba said in his ever serious tone over the phone, yet somehow his tone sounded more serious than usual. Both of them knew what that meant. The Shadow Games had returned. Chapter 3 The adventure begins. Two young men were running towards the Kaiba Dome for today was the day of the Duel Academy entrance exam. One was young boy dressed in a black Domino City uniform, the other was wearing a black t-shirt and blue pants. They were Jaden and Naruto Yuki. Oh man, we're gonna be late. Jaden said running to the stadium. Next time set your alarm right Jaden. Naruto shouted as he brother rushed past bystanders. Better run faster. Jaden said as he, Naruto was running in the streets and headed to Duel Academy for the entrance exam. Unfortunately they were late thanks to Jaden, who woke up late. Boy Jaden. Slow down will you? Naruto said as he saw Jaden running ahead of him and saw a guy blocking Jaden way. Crash. Jaden crashes to the ground, causing his duel disc to fall down to the ground along with his deck. Jaden quickly started to pick up his cards before he turned his head to that person he crashed. Sorry about that. Jaden said before he started to pick his deck again. Naruto finally catted up and saw Jaden picking his cards up. Yo, you okay bro? Naruto asked as he approaches Jaden and started helping pick up his cards and ignoring the person who Jaden just crashed into. Yeah, I'm okay. Jaden said as he and Naruto continues to pick up the cards. You're both a duelist aren't you? The guy said that Jaden just crashed into. Yeah, and we're going to take up our entrance exam at the academy. Jaden said as he and Naruto were done picking up the cards. You don't say. The man said as he let out a chuckle. Yeah, Jaden chuckled and Naruto turns his attention to the guy that Jaden crashed into causing his eyes widen in shock. Jaden finally looks at the guy and his eyes widen also. Hey Yugi. It's been a while. Naruto said to the king of games. Yugi nodded at him. Yes, been a while Naruto. Yugi said to his former pupil before turning his attention to Jaden. He grabbed something from his deck holder around his waist and gave a card to Jaden. Something tells me that this belongs with you. Yugi said and Jaden accepted the card. Good luck to the both of you. Yugi said before he walks past them. The brothers turned back to Yugi, who was about to leave. Thank you. We'll make you proud. Jaden said before he and Naruto bowed their heads as a sign of gratitude and respect. Yugi just looks back and gave them a thumb up. The two just look at the card that Jaden was given to a winged Kurobo card. Wow, I just got a card from the king of game himself. Jaden said before turning to Naruto. Why didn't you tell me that you met him? Jaden asked. Naruto started to sweat when he looked to his watch and calmly says, we're going to be late. Jaden's eyes widen in shock, forgetting the question he just asked before the three started running again and headed to the academy. Duel Academy entrance exams. Where are those two goofs? Mana mumbled as she and Yusei were outside the Kaiba Dome for the Duel Academy entrance exam. They soon saw Naruto waving. Hey guys, Naruto said catching up to his friends. Hey Naruto, Mana greeted. Where's Jaden? Naruto tilted his head in confusion when they heard a shout. Eyes a little help they all turned to see Jaden climbing over the rail. Naruto and Yusei ran to help Jaden while Mana giggled. I told you not to take that stupid shortcut, Naruto said. Guys, let's go register. Yusei said. The group filled out the forms and walked into the building. Once inside, they stood near a small man with light blue hair and glasses while watching a nearby duel. The last duel was taking place as everyone was watching. The proctor had a big shield Gardna and a gear golem the moving fortress on his field in defense mode with 1900 life points left while the applicant had a Vorse Raider in attack mode with a face down card. He had 3200 life points. Okay new guy. Multiple choice. You have two monsters staring you down, do you A. Throw in the towel. B. Beg for mercy. Or C. Run home to mama. The proctor exclaimed as the applicant was calm. I'll go with D, none of the above. He replied as he activated his Ring of Destruction trap card. The trap? The proctor exclaimed. Indeed. Yusei with Ring of Destruction, I can select on attack position monster on the field to destroy and we both lose life points equal to that monster's attack points. The applicant said as a ring formed around Vor's Raider's neck and exploded, destroying him and dropped both of their life points by 1900, with the proctors losing all of his and losing the duel. Clever move, applicant. Welcome to the academy. The proctor said. Thank you, oh wise proctor. The applicant said with a bow. That kid's got some skill. Naruto remarked impressed with his tactics, Yusei nodding in agreement. Sweetness. I've go to duel that guy. Jaden said excitedly and loudly, causing everyone to stare at them. Naruto slaped his forehead at Jaden's stupidity while idiot. Naruto muttered. Meanwhile in another section of the Area 3, three boys dressed in the uniform of Obelisk Blue, the top class, were discussing the recent duel. That kid's pretty good, Chaz. The boy with blue hair wearing glasses asked. Guess the rumor about him being some kind of whiz kid was true, Chaz, huh? The second boy spoke to a dark-haired boy that was leaning back in his chair with his arms stretched out behind his head. He's a punk, the one the Yuki boys assumed to be Chaz spat. We went to duel prep school for the past 3 years. We're ready for the academy. These kids don't know what they're getting into. But they'll learn the hard way, the Chaz Princeton way. He finished with a smirk that all but spelled out trouble. Wow, that guy really tore it up. Jaden said. Yeah. Bastion Misawa, they say he got the second highest score out of all us applicants. The boy said. Really, I barely passed. Jaden said. Yeah, me too. My name is Cirrus, by the way. Nice to meet you. Cirrus said, introducing himself. Nice to meet you too. I'm Naruto Yuki and this is my brother Jaden Yuki and this emo here is my best bud Yusei Fudo, Naruto said to Cirrus. Cirrus look at the two started compare their faces. You don't seem very identical and I don't see much of a resemblance. Cirrus blurted out and his eyes widened in shock and quickly shut his mouth. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to offend you too. Cirrus said with apologetic look on his face and Naruto just waved it off. Don't sweat it. And you're right, we're not brothers by blood but adopted brothers. Naruto said. Mana smiled, causing Cirrus to blush. You okay? I kind of have a thing where I get test anxiety, I don't know how I won my match. Cirrus said. But you won it. That proves you belong at Duel Academy, Naruto said. Yeah, don't sell yourself short, Cirrus. Yusei said as Cirrus smiled at the kind words. Naruto, Yusei, how'd you do on the test? Cirrus asked. You're looking at the guys who completely aced it. Naruto said as they looked at him. You aced it? How? Cirrus asked. Let's just say we spent a lot of time dueling. Naruto said as they looked at him. Naruto looked down at Cirrus. He could sense the boy had great potential as a duel, but he simply lacked the drive to awaken it. Meanwhile, back with the proctors, they were discussing their new students who were joining the academy. Looks like we got a pretty good crop this year. One said. Indeed. Another replied as the feminine-looking proctor wearing obelisk blue was closing his books when another proctor walked up to him. Excuse me, Mr. Sorry to interrupt, but 4 more applicants have arrived to take their entrance duels. The proctor said. Did you just call me mister? The man asked in an offended tone. I'm sorry, I knew here missus, I have a PhD in dueling, I've earned the title doctor, thank you. As for the duelists, tell them they'll have to come back next year. Crowler said. But only one of them arrived here late. The others arrived here within the deadline. Besides, I don't think you will want to turn these students away. The proctor said. Come on, Dr. Crowler. We have time for 4 more duels. One proctor said. Yeah, let them have their shot. Another said. They were just a bit late. Another replied. Late is rude. Crowler shouted in anger. I don't have time for these slackers. He yelled as his cell phone began to ring. Hello, and who may I ask is this? He asked but froze when he heard who it was. It's Shepard. A male voice responded. Ah, Chancellor Shepard. Crowler said, nervous. I'm just calling to make sure that everything is running smoothly, Crowler. I don't want a repeat of what happened last year. When you cut a third of our student applicants for some ridiculous reason, what was it, calling you Mrs. or Mr. Just make sure everyone gets a fair shot. And I'm told that Seto Kaiba says there are group special duelists who will be entering our academy, so look forward to that. Shepard said as he hung up. Breach and windbag. Crowler whisper. Doesn't he realize there are enough talentless flunkies at this school? But if he says to give them duels, I will. Crowler thought as he got up and left. They noticed Bastion, who took a seat in a row of seats just below them. Hey, Bastion. Sweet duel done there. Jaden said to Bastion. Bastion turns his attention to Jaden and the others. Thank you, Bastion replied politely. By the look of things, you might be the 5th best duelist here after the 3 of us. Jaden said as he pointed at himself, Naruto, Yusei and Mana, who was currently talking to Cirrus. Bastion just raised a brow at him. Will Jaden Yuki please report to dueling field 4? Jaden Yuki to field 4. Well, I'm up first. Jaden placed his deck into his duel disc and headed down to the field. Good luck, bro. Naruto called out. Jaden stops in his track and turns his attention to his adopted brother and gave him thumbs up before heading field. You think your brother will be alright? Sirius asked and Naruto just smiled at him. Don't worry, I'm sure he got this in the bag. Naruto said. Dad may be in dope airhead, but when it comes to dueling his mind's a steel trap. Mana said confidently. You're right about that. Yusei said. In the field. Tell me your name, son. Crowler said standing at the opposite side of the field. Jaden Yuki. Jaden said with an excited tone. Well, Jaden Yuki, I'm Dr. Velian Crowler, head of the Obelisk's boys dorm and the department chair of techniques here at Duel Academy. Wow, a department chair. From the way you were dressed I thought you were some kind of academy mascot. Jaden rubbed his head sheepishly, causing Crowler to go red with anger and Naruto and Mana to chuckle a bit, thinking it was true and funny. Now that he mentions it, the boy wearing glasses next to Chaz said as he took in Jaden's comment on the doctor. This guy's got some lip, Chaz. The other said. The dark-haired guy looked on with a smirk. I think I'm gonna enjoy watching Crowler mop the floor with our mouthy little friend down there. I only wish he treated all the other second-rate duelists that applied to this school the same way. Duel vest on. Crowler snapped activating it and drew his 5 cards. Jaden was amazed by the machinery as was his brother. Hey, that's pretty sweet, Teach. How do I get one of those stunning cool dual blazers? Jaden asked excitedly. Oh, a lot of hard work and extremely high marks, Crowler answered. Of course, you have to be accepted first. Which I will make sure you don't. Well, whatever. Jaden said with shrugged as he activated his duel disc. Get your game on. Up in the stands where 3 people were watching the duel that was about to take place. All 3 were obelisks from the color of their outfits. There was 1 guy and 3 girls. The 1 guy had dark blue hair and gray-colored eyes and wore the white variation of the boy's blazer, while the girls wore the female version, a blue and white blazer with a blue miniskirt and blue heels. One had long golden blonde hair and brown eyes, while the other girl had long crimson hair and blue eyes. The blonde girl also had blue fingerless dueling gloves. This kid really must have pissed Crowler off if he's the one dueling him. The red-haired girl said. Or maybe he's really good, the blonde-haired girl mumbled as she started to observe the dueling field. What do you think, Zane? I think Mito might be right, Alexis. Zane kept his arms folded at his chest. He must have made Crowler mad if he's wasting his time dueling a runt like him. Guess we'll find out. The girl named Alexis trailed off as the duel officially started. Crowler. 4,000. Jaden. 4,000. I'll go first. Crowler's duel coach shot out his 6th card. Of course, since I'm using my own personal deck rather than those test ones, I'll be sending this slacker home in no time. Crowler held up a spell card. I first play Spell Economics. Thanks to this card, I don't have to play points to activate spell cards. Then I activate Confiscation. By paying 1,000 life points I get to automatically destroy 1 card in your hand. Holograms of Jaden's cards appeared in front of him. Ah yes, I remember some of these from back when I was a naive rookie. His comment caused Naruto to shake his head, knowing that Jaden could win on his first turn if he had the right cards. Next I'll place 2 cards face down. 2 cards appeared face down in front of Crowler. And then I'll play Heavy Storm. A strong gust of wind blew over the field, destroying Crowler's 2 face down cards. And since the cards destroyed were Statue of the Wicked, I can summon out 2 tokens. 2 hideous serpent-like tokens appeared on the field. The card that strong can't be in one of the test decks. Crowler must be using his own. The boy with glasses next to the smirking Chaz said. Then this duel is over. No one can beat the deck of an expert like Dr. Crowler. The other boy said while leaning in his seat with anticipation at seeing Crowler's real deck. What an elitist snob. Alexa said with a scoff, bullying some kid with his very best cards. You're too soft, Alexis. Zane spoke up, causing her to look over to him. I just hope we get to see that legendary rare card Crowler had stashed in that deck of his. It's said to be really powerful, Mito noted. And now I'll sacrifice them. They disappeared just as fast as they came. To bring forth the ancient gear golem. The 2 tokens disappeared in a flash of bright light, a giant man made out of old rusted metals and gears, appearing colored a rusted brown color, with giant clawed hands and a single red eye, shinning towards the still Jaden. ATK. 3,000 def. 3,000. Alexis gasped, there it is. The legendary rare monster. And now my turn comes to an end. Crowler ended with a smirk on his face as Jaden drew his next card. So Mr. Yuki, what do you say about my powerful monster? I bet you're frantically trying to come up with some kind of P. I won. His simple sentence caused the entire stadium, save Yusei and Naruto, to gasp. Impossible. Crowler fumed. There's no way a rookie like you can take down my powerful golem. Yes, I can. Watch. Jaden held up a spell card. I play emergency call. Thanks to this card, I can take an elemental hero from my deck and add it to my hand. Jaden fished out his avian. Now I play double fusion. This lets me preform 2 fusion summons at once. Naruto and Yusei both smiled. Jaden had this one. After completing his training under Yugi, Naruto had taught Jaden what he had learned from his masters. Now I fuse avian and burstinatrix together to form my elemental hero Flame Wingman. The 2 heroes appeared and started merging together, forming after the 2 monsters were done. A new monster appeared that had some of the same looks as avian and burstinatrix. It had one of avian's wings along with a few of burstinatrix's colors. The only thing that neither monster had was the dragon-like hand on the monster's left arm. ATK. 2100. Def. 1200. Prowler started laughing. All that talk for a monster weaker than my golem. Now I truly see that you are a rookie. Jaden Smirik, who says I'm done. I now fuse Wingman with the Sparkman in my hand. Wingman jumped into the air alongside a blue and gold clad hero. Soon appearing in their place was newer version of Wingman donning a radiant suit of silver armor. ATK. 2500. Def. 2100. Even Summy Golem still stronger, bragged Crowler. Jaden chuckled. Gus, you don't know that Shining Wingman gains 300 attacks points for every elemental hero in my graveyard, he explained, causing Crowler's eyes to widen in shock. He currently had 4 heroes in the graveyard. ATK. 2500 to 3700. Def. 2100. And thanks to my Wingman superpower, whenever it destroys a monster you receive damage equal to that destroyed monster's attack point, said Jaden, while Crowler's eyes bulged with horror. No wait. Time out. Crowler said desperately. Oh, Shining Stream Blast. Shine Wingman unleashed a stream of green energy piercing through the golem. Crowler. 0. Jaden. 4000, winner. And that's game, Jaden grinned. I guess I'm in this school now, huh teach. The holograms vanished. Maybe now you learn to not underestimate your opponents. Jaden meant for it to be friendly advice, but Crowler was fuming. How dare he? Humiliate me and then trying to give me foolish advice. Well, slacker, I'll see to it that your life at the academy is unbearable. Wow, that's a surprise turnover. Mito said with surprised tone. Lexa said. The girls just look over Zane and he didn't say a thing but continues to look on the field. Jaden and the others. That was a great match. Sira said. Indeed it was. Bastion said, and Jaden just grinned at them. Nice going, bro. You sure now know how to use that deck that Koyo gave you. Naruto said to Jaden. Jaden just gave his adopted brother a thumb up. Like I told you before. I will be his next living legacy. Jaden said, and Naruto just smiled at him. Jaden then looked around and noticed Yusei was missing. Where'd Yusei go? Jaden asked. Mana then motioned to the duel arena and saw Yusei dueling against a duel proctor with Machin King on the field. It was now Yusei's turn. I activate the spell card Graceful Charity. Yusei drew 3 cards from his deck while slotting 2 cards into his duel disc. Now I summon the tuner monster Junk Synchron. Yusei said as a small orange metallic robot appeared on the field. Now I activate his special ability. I can summon a level 2 or lower level monster from my graveyard and in defense position, and I choose Speed Warrior, ATK. 900. Def. 400, Yusei said, and a human wearing a gas mask that covered his entire face and gray armor monster appears to the field. And having a tuner out, I can revive the Quilbolt Hedgehog in my graveyard. A small hamster with screws in its back stood alongside Yusei other monsters. He summoned 3 monsters in 1 turn. Akiza said, impressed with Yusei's strategy. Yeah, but they're still too weak to defeat Machin King. Zane remarked while he, Alexis and Mito looked on. Yusei now had everything set. I tuned my level 3 Junk Synchron and level 2 Quilbolt. Yusei announced. Both monsters jumped into the air. Junk Synchron pulled the cord on its body, causing the motor on its back to start up. All of a sudden, it turned into 3 stars which morphed into 3 green rings. The rings lined up as Quilbolt flew through them, becoming a green outline with 2 stars, which left the outline and lined up. The stars come together to call forth a new power. Become the path that lights the way. Yusei chanted as a green light shot through the ring synchro summon. Come on, Junk Warrior. From the light, a purple armored warrior with the same scarf emerged, its red eyes glowing as it threw a punch. ATK. 2300. Def. 1300. Why you know how to synchron summon? The proctor stuttered. A year ago several new summonings was created by Industrial Illusion Company. Only 2 prototype decks were created and was given to 2 Pepple by Pegasus himself. Whom no one in the public knew until now. That was so cool. Sira said with shock on his face. Yes, that was impressive, but it's still not enough to defeat Machine King, Bastion said as he finally snapped out from his shock and was still impressed by what Yusei did just now. He still hasn't activated his effect, guys. Jaden said, causing the two look surprised before looking back at the duel field. Next I'll equip my warrior with the junk barrage. Now when my monster destroys one of yours in battle, you'll receive damage equal to that monster's attack points. Yusei explained, and before you point out how you'll still have life points. I activate half shot. Yusei's card released a yellow beam draining Machine King of its strength, ATK. 2200 to 1100, def. 2000. Now go my warrior's attack. Yusei commanded as two warriors charged forward. Junk Warrior was the first to strike by destroying Machine King. Then Speed Warrior delivering the direct attack. Yusei. 4000 winner. Proctor. 0. Yusei walked up the stairs to meet his friends where both Jaden and Naruto were smiling. That was awesome, Yusei. Sira said with amusement. Bastion nodded. I agree, I had no idea you could synchro summon. Said Bastion. It was nothing, Yusei replied. Naruto walked over to his best friend and held up his hand. Nice, Yusei. Naruto said as Himana and Yusei three-way high-fived. Will Naruto Yuki please report to Dueling Field 4? Naruto Yuki to Field 4. That's my cue, guys. Wish me luck. Naruto said as he headed to the field. Look at crowd. They're pump up. Jaden said as he looks at everyone and saw they were leaning in anticipation. Well, I don't blame them. After your match everyone is eager to see how your brother duels. Bastion said. Hey Jaden, how good is your brother? Sirius asked and Jaden just smiled at him. Mana and Yusei are in a league of their own. There still is too much for me. After all, they were able to beat Seto Kaiba himself. Jaden stated, and this causes Bastion and Sirius to look on surprise look on their faces before looking back at the field and saw Naruto waiting for his opponent. Looks like Jaden's brother is next. Zane said as he looks at Naruto. He's kind of cute, Alexis noted, and this caused Zane to look at Alexis with confused look on his face before he turns his attention to Mito, and he saw that Mito has her eyes widen in shock as she looks at Naruto. Hey Mito, what's wrong? Zane asked, and this caused Mito snapped out from her thoughts and shook her head. Nothing's wrong. Mito said, and this causes Alexis and Zane look at her with concerned look on their faces as they saw that Mito had depressed look on her face. Is it really you? Mito thought sadly as she looks at Naruto. Do slackers. Chaz shouted as he looks at the field with raging eyes. It's bad enough that slacker beaten Crowler by a fluke and now another slacker is joining us too. In the field. Naruto continues to wait for his opponent and his and everyone's surprise it was Crowler. Name please. Crowler asked with annoyed tone and Naruto just rolled his eyes. Naruto Yuki. Naruto said, and this causes Crowler to look at him with surprised look on his face. You don't look like much of that slacker brother of yours. Crowler said and Naruto narrowed his eyes for the insult that Crowler used on Jaden. I'm his adopted brother. Naruto said. A grin appeared on Crowler's face. Well, this going to be fun. I'm gonna enjoy paying back for your slacker brother did to me. Crowler said and Naruto just rolled his eyes. Man, I can't believe that I'm fighting this clown. Naruto muttered. Let's just start already. Naruto said as he activated his dual disc while Crowler activated his dual vest. Duel. Crowler. 4000. Naruto. 4000. I'll start off. Crowler said as he drew a card. He looks at his hand and a smirk appeared on his face. I play the spell card Magnet Circle LV2. Crowler said and the card activated in the field. Thanks this spell card, I can summon this, Ancient Gear. 100/800s, Crowler said as he placed the card into the monster zone and a small and strange metallic monster appeared on the field. This card's special effect allows me to summon another one. Crowler said and another copy appeared on the field. Now, I sacrifice both monsters to bring out this. Both monster disappeared and Crowler slammed the card into his monster zone. Come forth Ancient Gear Galgatron Dragon. ATK. 3000 def. 3000, Crowler said as a giant metal dragon appeared behind him and let out a threatening roar. Everyone in the room except for Naruto gasped in shock. Another rare monster. Mito said in shock as she looks at Naruto with a worried look on her face. They really want to destroy him. Zane said. Man, that's just wrong. Alexa said as she watches the match. Squash him, Chaz said with smirk on his face. Great Scott. Another rare card. Bastion said with shock look on his face. Naruto is in tight spot now. Sira said with a concerned look on his face. Don't worry. My brother got this. Jaden said and the two turned around and saw that Jaden had a grin on his face. Now I end my turn. Crowler said arrogantly thinking that he scared the crap out of Naruto, but the blonde didn't have any reaction at all. That's it? Naruto asked and Crowler along everyone in the crowd look at him with shock look on their faces. What do you mean? Crowler asked, not suspecting that Naruto respond after seeing the monster. I don't know, the fact that you don't have any face down cards or anything else. All I can say that you're underestimating me. Naruto said with shrug before he let out a sigh. Whatever, I draw, Naruto said as he drew his card and looks at him. He didn't notice the angry look that Crowler was giving him. I make sure to destroy you in this duel. Crowler vowed in his thoughts. Naruto continues to scan to look at the cards and nodded his head. Naruto drew a card and smirked. Okay, I start off by activating 2 spell cards, Gateway of the 6 and 6 Samurai United. Then since I have no monsters on my side of the field, I can special summon Elder of the 6 Samurai 400. Next I activate 6 Samurai United. And since I've got a 6 Samurai now, I special summon Legendary 6 Samurai Kizan 1800 500 and normal summon Legendary 6 Samurai Kajeki 200 2000s. And thanks to Kage I can special summon Kagemusha of the 6 Samurai 400 1800s. 4 monsters in one turn. Alexis gasped. Naruto then took a deep breath and continued, now I'm about to show a new game mechanic that my father hopes to bring to duel monsters. Now I tune level 2 Kagemusha of the 6 Samurai with my level 3 Elder of the 6 Samurai, he said as the 2 monsters jumps in the air. Kagemusha turned to 2 green rings and surrounded Elder of the 6 Samurai. May your blade be true and your will be strong as your sword. Synchro summon. A blast of light appear before him. Appear before me, Legendary 6 Samurai Cheyenne 2500 1400, Naruto roared as the giant pillar of light disappeared and was replaced with a warrior clad in red samurai armor and was carrying a serrated edge katana. Big deal. So-called bunch of monsters. But none of them can beat my monster. Crowler sneered and Naruto just let out a chuckle. Who said that I was done? Naruto said and Crowler looks at him with confused look on his face. I play 6 strike triple impact when I have 3 samurais out, all your monsters are destroyed, Naruto asked, and this causes everyone in the room gasped, except for Jaden. Wide! Shrieked Crowler in terror. Go get him, guys. Naruto roared. Yes, my lord. The warrior trio said, drawing their sword before they became to pummel Crowler. Naruto. 4000 winner. Crowler. 0. Game over. Naruto said as he walked up to the stand to join his friends, high-fiving Jaden and Yusei, while Mana hugged him. He did it. Mito cheered happily. That was impressive duel and an OTK. He and his brother got a future here. Alexa said as her eyes follow Naruto, who was now with Jaden and the others. Yup, Duel Academy will be a very interesting now. Chapter 4. Jaden was sitting back in his chair on the helicopter that was taking him, his brother, and the rest of the new students over to Duel Academy. Jaden and Naruto were sitting next to one another, Cirrus was blushing sitting beside Mana, and Yusei was in window seat beside Bastion. Jaden looked out the window as he took in the images of outside with his mind and thought about what was to come. Attention new Academy duelists, he heard the captain speaking over the intercom, this is your captain speaking, if you look out your window you'll see your new home away from home. Most of the students did just that as they saw an island clear in their sights, even Naruto opened his eyes to look at the academy. Far away, it was mainly green due to the forest areas and even saw a volcano, which caused Naruto to raise an eyebrow. Thinking about all the issues that might come if that thing ever erupts. But the main attraction, the reason why they were all here, was the building in the center of the island. It was a silver color, surrounded by 4 tan spires. If you look closely, you'll see 3 dishes in the middle. A blue, yellow and red one in that order going diagonally down, one for all 3 Egyptian god cards, if Naruto remembered reading the pamphlet right, which he was sure he didn't. Either way, he shared a small grin with his brother. Next stop, Academy Island. Soon after landing, Jaden and the rest found themselves standing in a large lecture room with a monitor in front of them. Jaden and Cirrus were all wearing red blazers with gray pants. Jaden did a quick look around and saw that there were other students wearing yellow and blue blazers. A man in his late 40s or early 50s appeared on the giant screen before every new student. He was bald but had a goatee around his chin. He wore a red blazer that was slightly darker than the one Jaden and Cirrus were wearing over a shirt and tie. Good morning and welcome my students, he said in a pleasant voice that caused I am Chancellor Shepard, the headmaster here, and you are the best and brightest duelists in the world. Jaden grinned at that, his pride and confidence in his dueling skills taking front. Now please, get yourselves settled in at your assigned dorms. I hope you find them quite comfortable. Depending on how you're ranked of course. He finished with a slight chuckle that caused others to chuckle as well. Jaden and Cirrus hung out outside as Jaden looked at his Duel Academy PTA. I don't know about you Cirrus, but it looks like I'm in the Slifer Red dorm. Jaden said. That's cool. Same as me. Cirrus said as Jaden saw Bastion walk by. Hey, you in red, too? Jaden asked. Well now, let's see here, yellow sleeves, yellow buttons. I don't think so. Bastion said. Oh I get it. Jaden said. So that's why Sai and I are in red. Please don't tell me that you've just figured that out now. Bastion said. So what? Ever think that maybe I was colorblind? Jaden said with glare. Actually no. Are you colorblind? He replied. Nah, but I cold a bin. Jaden chuckled. Bastion shook his head amusingly towards the younger Yuki. As he started walking away. See you around the dorms. Jaden waved off to the boy in the yellow blazer. I doubt that, your dorm's over there. Bastion turned back around to point. Enough, in the direction Bastion was pointing was a silhouette of a small building. Anyway, have you seen Naruto, Yusei or Mana? I figured they'd be in raw yellow, but I haven't seen them. Bastion said. Sorry, I haven't seen them either. Jaden said. Me too, but I remember seeing Naruto inside and he was wearing red. Sira said as Bastion was confused. That's odd. A duelist of Naruto's caliber should be in raw yellow at least. Oh well, I guess he's not as great as he claims to be. Bastion said. I'm not so sure about that. Naruto may be in red, but he's an amazing duelist. I'm sure he has a reason for being in red. Sira said as Jaden nodded. Trust me, my bro's one of the best, Jaden said with great confidence. Bastion nodded and walked away while Jaden and Sirius went to check out their new dorm. Hey guys, hold up. A voice called out. Jaden and Sirius turned to see Mana running over to them in a female Slifer uniform. Mana, you got red too? Jaden smiled seeing his friend. Mana nodded. Yep, so did Naruto and Yusei. That's great, we're all together. Jaden cheers while Sirius smiled. Naruto and Yusei are gonna catch up later, so let's get going. Mana said, dragging both boys along. Yusei and Naruto arrived at Chancellor Shepard's office. Yusei knocked on the door, soon they heard a voice asking them to come in. Both were standing in front of Chancellor Shepard in his office, both of them wearing Slifer uniforms. Shepard saw them and smiled as well and got up and walked over and hugged the boys, as Naruto hugged back. Naruto, Yusei, it's good to see you. Shepard said. You too. It's been a long time. Naruto said. I know, I don't get to leave since I'm at Duel Academy all the time, but it's nice to have you here, my boys. Shepard said as he pat them on the shoulder. Glad to be here. So why did you want to see me? Naruto asked. It has to do with what Sito-sensei, doesn't it? Yusei said. Yes, students have been disappearing for some unknown reason. That's the reason why Mr. Kaiba wants you to investigate. Shepard said. Naruto and Yusei nodded at him. Alright, if you need our help, then we'd be happy to. We'll find out what happened to the students, Naruto said as Shepard smiled. Naruto, Yusei, hand me your PDAs. Shepard said as they handed them to him, and Shepard pressed some buttons and entered a code which enabled their PDAs and with full access to the academy. This will allow you full access to the academy to find some clues. Thanks. They said as they put it back in their pocket. Oh, and before you go, Naruto. Pegasus has a gift for you. Shepard held out a wooden box with a symbol on it and Naruto. Naruto knew the symbol well and nodded as he accepted the box. Thanks, Chancellor Shepard. See you later. Naruto said as he and Yusei walked out. As they were about to leave when suddenly Shepard called to Yusei. Yusei. Shepard said. Yusei turns back and caught something that Shepard had thrown. He opens his hand and saw it was a key and a piece of folded paper. Mr. Kiaba already sent your project to the hidden passage at the Slifer dorm. I hope I get see your project firsthand. Shepard said as he smiled at the duo. Yusei just smiled at him and nodded before he left the office. Meanwhile, Jaden, Sirius and Mana were checking out their new dorm rooms. This here is our room. Jaden turned the knob and opened the door to their room, Sirius standing behind him. Inside the room was a two-seated desk along the left wall, a window straight across from the door, and a three-person bunk bed along the right wall. And near the door was a little stove with some cabinets beneath it. Kinda small, but they'll make do. It wasn't too bad. It's pretty small, don't you two think? Sirius commented on the small room as the two stepped into the room. Hey, you're a small guy, Jaden shrugged a reply to the blue-haired boy. Come on you two, this will make a sweet pad for our first year here. Yeah, kinda weird meeting up at the entrance exams and now roommates. Sirius said with a weird grin on his face. Speaking of weird, he was starting to dream up him and Jaden in some Egyptian clothing. Him as the guardian Sito, Jaden as the pharaoh. Think we were connected in some kind of ancient life. Jaden turned to stare at Sirius, a little weirded out by the sudden question from the short boy. No offense, but that's just lame. Well, it could be true, Sirius threw out. Jaden saw his brother ponder on that before the mute boy gave out a shrug, which caused Jaden to let out a chuckle. No way, they would have broken the mold when they made us. Yeah, for different reasons, Sirius mumbled under his breath. Sirius, you've got to start having more confidence in yourself. Mana said, placing a hand on Sirius' shoulder. Jaden then noticed something about their bed. Why do we have a triple bed? Maybe for the three of us. Sirius said. No, Mana began, my room is the next one over. What's with all the noise? A grumpy voice asked from the top bunk. The covers pulled back revealing an angry, heavy-set boy with a face and hair similar to a koala. Mana and Sirius jumped behind Jaden before the person revealed himself. We're new. As Jaden tried to explain himself, the boy in bed turned his back to the new kids. Roommates. You're new, alright, so lem tell you how things work, the grouchy boy muttered. Cirrus blinked, like when parents visit is. He asked. Duh, like the whole color thing works. That's the most important thing you have to worry about here. There are 3 colored dorms here. One named after each of the Egyptian god cards. There's the obelisk blue students, the raw yellow students, and the slifer red students. Now, the obelisk blue students are the highest ranking students. Most of them get into the school and they're ranked by really high grades, while others get in by connections. Raw yellow students are really gifted kids that have a lot of potential, and then there are us, the red wonders. The wonders, Cirrus murmured, that doesn't sound too bad. Like a group of superheroes or something. Ignoring Cirrus's comment, the large boy continued, the red wonders as in I wonder how rejects like us made it even this far. A lot of people look down on the slifers because they're the lowest ranking students on the island, nothing but the bottom of the barrel. Oh, I'm Chumley, by the way. Chumley lazily waved to them before he went on back to trying to sleep. Jaden and Cirrus turned to one another before Jaden suddenly grinned. I know what I'm doing this year, he excitedly said. I'm gonna show everyone that just because we're in red doesn't mean we can't throw down. Jaden started sprinting out the door, grabbing Cirrus by the shoulders. And I'll start now. Later, Chumley. He waved the sleeping boy goodbye as Cirrus begged him to slow down. Chumley actually laughed. Good luck with that. Meanwhile, Mana went over to the next room and knocked on the door. A female voice spoke up. Mana opened the door and was greeted by a young girl her age with burgundy hair mostly chin-length with the addition of long elbow-length bangs that frame both sides of her face. She rolls her front bangs with a device similar to a hair curler on top of her head. A huge smile spread across Mana's face as she rushed over, embracing the girl in a tight hug. Akiza. You actually came. Mana Arakiza managed to wheeze, causing Mana to release the hug. Sorry, I'm just really glad you're here at Duel Academy with us. Mana said before making a sly grin. I bet Yusei will be happy too. She added, causing her to blush. Meanwhile, Naruto and Yusei were walking through the halls of Duel Academy when he heard some noise coming from the main dueling arena. Pan it, you two. He heard as he walked to the dueling arena and saw Jaden and Cirrus along with 3 other obelisks. Maybe the new kid's right. What I mean there, Chaz? One of the guys asked. He was one of the new kids who did beat Crowler, after all. And that legendary rare monster of his, I suppose it takes some skill to pull that off. Chaz said. Got that right. Jaden said. Or was it dumb luck? Chaz asked condescendingly. I say that we find out right now. It was skill. They heard as they saw Yusei and Naruto walk up to them holding a box. Hey, you're that Naruto kid who also beat Crowler and that kid with the synchros. The other obelisk said. Naruto, Yusei. Sira said. Hey bro, where were you? Jaden asked. Had to talk to Chancellor Shepard for a second. It's all okay. Yusei said. So the other slackers are here. Huh, I figured with how you beat Crowler and those skills you had you would have made raw yellow at least. Guess it was just dumb luck. Chaz said. Actually, I could have placed into obelisk if I wanted to. But we asked to be put into slifer red. Naruto said, which shocked them. Why? Cirrus asked. It was our want to earn my place as the best duelist there is. Naruto said as Cirrus and Jaden smiled at the humility of their friends and brother. Ha, what an idiot. Chaz said. Well, this certainly is a motley crew, said a new voice. Suddenly saw 2 new students enter the arena and they were 3 girls. Naruto presumed they were obelisk, after all girls in this academy are automatically obelisk blue. Naruto looks closely and his eyes widen in shock as he recognizes one of the girls. It can't be, there's no way she's here. Naruto thought as memories in the past is coming back to haunt him. Chaz, what are you doing? The girl in crimson hair said. Chaz looks at the girl with a grin on his face. Chaz smirked over to the 2, hey Alexis, he greeted to the blonde girl. Hey Mito, come to watch me wipe the floor with my new friend Jaden here. It'll be a short duel, but an entertaining one at that. Naruto had to glare at Chaz when he underestimated his brother's skills, even after his defeat over Crowler. We came to remind you about the obelisk's welcome dinner. You're late. Alexis glared lightly. Oh yeah, Chaz mumbled. Let's go you guys. Chaz ignored the last thing said as he and his lackeys walked off to the obelisk's boys' dorm, a plan forming in his head. Alexis turned her attention from the departing Chaz over to the remaining slifers. Sorry if Chaz rubbed you the wrong way, all of us obelisks aren't like that. She tried to assure them. Mito nodded her head, he's just a jerk. Especially with slifers. Damn it. She is here. Naruto mentally shouted in his mind as his anger started to control on him, but he took a deep breath to calm down before his rage take over. A look that didn't go unnoticed by Yusei. Don't worry, it was just a small talk. Well, we better get going now. Naruto said and the three nodded at him. Before they left the arena but Jaden suddenly stops on his tracks, causing the two stop also. Jaden looks back at Alexis and her friends. By the way, I didn't get your names. Jaden asked. Alexis and Mito smiled at him. I'm Alexis Rhodes. Alexis said. Akiza Izinski, Akiza said. Mito Namikaze. Mito said, then she looks at Naruto and saw that Naruto was glaring at her. That causes her to flinch from that look. Well, I'm Jaden Yuki and this is my brother, Naruto, and my friends Yusei and Cirrus, Jaden said, and Alexis looks at them with confused look on her face. You two don't resemble each other at all. Alexis said and Naruto just rolled his eyes. I'm his adopted brother and a proud one too. Naruto said. Naruto looks at Mito looking depressed as she heard those words. That made Naruto smirk a little. Let's go you guys. Naruto and others left, leaving only Mito and Alexis on the arena. Alexis turns to Mito and saw the depressed look on her face. Mito, what's wrong? Alexis asked. Mito snapped out from her depression and shook her head and gave Alexis a forced smile. Nothing's wrong, Alexis. Mito said, but she knew that there's something wrong. Anyway, we better get going also. Mito went ahead of Alexis. What wrong with you, Mito? Alexis thought, concerned about her best friend's sudden change. This is our big fancy welcome dinner. One Slifer student said to no one in particular. Naruto and his friends had made it back to the dorm just before the dinner started and saw what they rushed for. A small dish of rice, sardines and chopsticks with some sauces. Cirrus' face planted when he saw how little they were being given. Not the big welcome that he was expecting to have, although they should have seen something like this coming with the state of the dorm. Jaden and Naruto were too busy staring at the food with hunger, the typical Yuki hunger and eating talents about to be revealed to the entire Slifer dorm. Forget the dinner, look at our headmaster. It's a cat. Another said, pointing at a brown and black striped cat that was taking a snooze at the Slifer dining hall table. That thought was blown out of everyone's head when a tall and skinny looking man with a dark hair and a pair of glasses came out from the kitchen area. He seemed like a nice enough guy. At least he didn't wear makeup like that buffoon Crowler did, Jaden thought before he turned back to his food with his hungry grin. Hello children. I'm Professor Banner, he greeted them all in a light German accent. Before we eat, I would like everyone to say some. Before he could continue, he was interrupted by Jaden and Naruto. This is great. He had already begun to stuff his face with rice, while Naruto started stuffing his face with his sardines. Everyone was staring at the Yuki brothers in surprise, Yusei shaking his head in embarrassment. Guys, I think he wanted us to say something about ourselves. Sira said, trying to stop his friends from eating. Okay, how about this, I'm starving. Naruto said with his mouth full. Jaden nodded in agreement with his brother. He's walking over here. Yusei warned, but Naruto and Jaden were still stuffing their face full of food. I mean it guys, Yusei didn't finish since Professor Banner now stood over the three of them. Well, since some of us can't wait, he said almost with a small smile. Let's just eat. Jaden, Naruto and everyone else were relaxing at the room. Jaden and Cirrus introduced Chumli to Naruto and Yusei, they became quick friends. Naruto was supposed to sleep in a different room, but Naruto just decided to move in Jaden's room since Yusei hated his snoring. Man, I'm already full from all those fried shrimp. Jaden said. Naruto was checking his deck while Yusei was reading a book, Cirrus was making tea, and Chumli was trying to sleep. Here you go Naruto. Cirrus said as he handed the tea, Naruto happily accepted. Thanks Naruto said. Hey boys. Mana said entering the room tugging on the arm of her room. And when Naruto, Yusei and Jaden saw her their eyes widened. Aki. The Yuki brothers shouted rushing to the girl. Yusei however was frozen in place when he saw the girl, when their eyes met they turned away to hide their blush which didn't go unnoticed by Mana and Naruto. But before the teasing could start them Jaden's PDA began to buzz from a message. Don't think you're off the hook, slacker. Tonight at midnight we duel at the duel arena. Winners get the loser's best card. Man, that guy really wanna beat you Jaden. Sira said and Jaden had a grin on his face. I'm so in. Let's go Sai. Jaden said as moves out from his seat and grabbed his deck and duel disc. You do know that the arena is off limit at this hour right? If the security campus saw you two then you're both in big trouble. Akiza explained the two. Jaden and Cirrus look at her with wide eyes in what they just heard now. Really? Jaden asked, Naruto just raised a brow at him. Do you think we would lie to you Jaden? Naruto asked and Jaden just pouted at him. He knew that Naruto was right, he and Yusei would never lie to him. But I want to duel him. Jaden whined and Naruto just rolled his eyes. Fine, I'll help you guys. Naruto said and Jaden's eyes lit up like a child while Cirrus looked at him confused. How are you going to do that Naruto? Cirrus asked and Naruto just raised a brow at him until he realized that forgot tell Cirrus something. I forgot tell something about me didn't I? Naruto said and Cirrus continues to look confused. Well Cirrus, I'm a psychic duelist. I can bring any duel monster to life. Naruto explained and Cirrus' eyes widen in shock in hearing this. Really? Cirrus asked and Naruto pulls out card from his deck and reveals to be Rainbow Kurobo card. I'm out Rainbow Kurobo. Naruto said and then the card glowed bright for a few seconds and suddenly a small round creature with a rainbow gem on its forehead reveals itself. AHH. Cirrus screamed in shock as he saw the monster before him. Naruto pet the creature and they could hear it purr. Come on Cirrus, it won't hurt you. Naruto said. Cirrus snapped out from his shock and slowly approaches the creature. He hastily extends his arm towards the creature and started to pat it. To his surprise the creature likes it and flew into Cirrus' head. See there's nothing to be afraid of. Naruto said and Cirrus nodded at him. Let's go already. I want to duel Chaz now. Jaden said and the two Slifer nodded at him. Hey Chumley, you coming? Cirrus asked. No thanks. Chumley said in a grumpy tone. Cirrus looks at Naruto and hey wait up Mana yelled running after them. An awkward silence filled the room as neither Yusei or Akiza spoke. Hi Akiza Yusei managed to speak out. Hello Yusei Akiza replied shyly. The four arrived at the arena and Jaden was ready to duel. I still think it's a bad idea. Cirrus said and Jaden just shrugged at him. Hey, when someone challenge you to a duel. You accepted. Jaden said then the trio finally arrived at the arena and saw Chaz and lackeys waiting there. Chaz watches Jaden walks to the other side of the field. You showed up after all. Jaden just smirked at him. You know I never back down from a challenge. Jaden said as he activated his duel disc. Now, we see whether you being Dr. Crowler was a fluke or a fact, Chaz said. Yeah, Jaden replied. And we're gonna find out something else too. Which one of us is gonna be the next king of games. Yeah, whatever. Just be sure to get your best card ready to hand over after you lose. You too, Chaz. Now game on. Both of their duel discs turned on and they each drew their starting hands. Duel. They both cried. Chaz. 4,000. Jaden. 4,000. Alright slacker Chaz drew his card and looked at his hand. I'll start by summoning Reborn Zombie in defense mode and I'll play a card face down. Appearing in plain sight was a decaying zombie wearing a tattered cloak with grey hair and no eyes. Also, the bones of its right hand and foot were showing 1600s, a face down card was shown behind it. I guess that's one way to start a duel. But I'm gonna go even bigger so here goes. Jaden drew his card and looked over his hand. Okay, first off, I'll play the spell card Polymerization and I'll fuse my elemental heroes Avian and Burstinatrix from my hand to summon the elemental hero Flame Wingman. Everyone watched as Avian and Burstinatrix appeared on the field before swirling into each other once more. Now, in their place, the large winged creature from the first duel Jaden was in on the field. 2100-1200. I told you I'd start big, didn't I? Chaz chuckled softly. I was hoping you would. Why's that? Jaden asked slowly, not liking Chaz's tone. The obelisk smirked, because that face down I played before is a trap card that you set off. Chthonian Polymer, do your stuff. He ordered. The holographic face down rose to reveal a card that had an image of a man wrapped in flames. What's Chthonian Polymer's stuff? Cirrus asked meekly. I knew I heard something suspicious. A voice said and three turned and saw Mito and Alexis approach them. Anyway, what's so bad about that card? Cirrus asked. That trap card allows to user gain control of the opponent fusion monster by tributing a monster of his own. Naruto explained and Cirrus' eyes widen in shock. That means. Yeah, big trouble for Jaden. Mana said as she watched the battle. Chaz's monster was gone and Flame Wingman was on his side with a demonic look on its face. Jaden groaned as he lost his best monster. Oh man, not my wingman. How did Chaz know to play that? Cirrus asked. Because Jaden kept talking about that Flame Wingman after his duel. Naruto said. That's right. I'd knew you use him soon. Chaz said. Still, since Flame Wingman was a special summon, that means I'm allowed to summon another monster during my turn. Jaden said as he looked at his hand. Not that anything in my hand is a match of the wingman. Alright, I summon elemental hero Clayman in defense mode. Jaden said as a large hulking clay hero appeared. Def 2000. They're all set. Yeah, set up to get knocked down. Rise, Chthonian soldier. Chaz said as he summoned a fierce looking knight in grey armor. ATK, 1200. And now, Flame Wingman, attack with Skydive Scorcher. Chaz said as Flame Wingman jumped in the air and was consumed in fire and dived to Clayman and destroyed it in a fiery blaze. Then I end with one face down. Your move slacker. Chaz sneered at Jaden. Naruto glares at Chaz for insulting Jaden. This guy is getting on my nerves. Naruto as he started to leak out some killing intent and towards Chaz. CC calm down, Naruto Cirrus said as he tried to calm the blonde down. Naruto listened to Cirrus' request and took a deep breath to calm down. Yusei looked at Naruto with concern. He remembered the last time Naruto had let his rage loose, it took 4 months to repair the Kyaba dome. Now, I summon the elemental hero Sparkman to the field in attack mode. Jaden played another monster card, and what appeared was another strange-looking human appeared on the field, this one dressed in yellow and blue garb with a curved blue helmet. 1600-1400. Alright, Sparkman. Now attack Chthonian soldier with static shockwave. Jaden ordered. The Sparkman jumped into the air and pointed his fist directly at the Chthonian soldier. His arm was charged with electrical sparks before a large thunderbolt beam of shot out from his hand and hit the dark armored monster dead on, destroying it completely in an explosion. Chaz. 3600. Jaden. 2000. Chaz growled at first, but smirked as he watched his soldier's curved blade rise above the smoke and fly straight at Jaden, hitting him in the stomach. In pain, Jaden fell to one knee, holding his gut. Still think you won that one? Whenever Chthonian soldier is destroyed, you take the same amount of damage to your life points as I did. The only difference is, you barely have any left to spare. Chaz. 3600. Jaden. 1600. Man, this is bad. Sira said. The battle is not over until one of them hits 0. Naruto said. Bad, your brother is bad situation you know. Alexa said and Naruto turned his attention to her. But in a duel there's always a card that can turn this thing around. No matter how bad the situation is. You shouldn't give up. Naruto said to Alexis before returning his attention back to the duel. Alright, I place one card face down and end my turn. Jaden said. This is the end, slacker. Chaz said as he draw his card. Attack Flame Wingman. I activate the trap card Mirror Gate. Jaden said as he revealed his trap card. Chaz's eyes widened in shock when he saw this, while Naruto had grin on his face. This card causes our monster to switch places, which mean that Flame Wingman is back to my side. Jaden explained. Sparkman and Flame Wingman changes places and the two clashes one against another and Flame Wingman destroyed Sparkman. Chaz. 3100. Jaden. 1600. You know the drill. When Flame Wingman destroys a monster then you take damage equal to at point that monster was destroyed. Jaden said and Chaz was hit by lightning. Chaz. 1500. Jaden. 1600. You'll pay for that. Chaz said and grabbed one of the cards in his hands. I play the card Chthonian Blast. This card is activated when my monster is destroyed. I can destroy your monster, then you take damage equal to half of its at power. Chaz explained. Flame Wingman is destroyed in the field. Chaz. 1500. Jaden. 550. Now use the trap card Call of the Haunted to bring back one monster from the graveyard and I call Chthonian Soldier. The Chthonian Soldier appeared once again. Don't worry, he won't be there for long. I sacrifice him to summon Mephis the Infernal General, 1800-1700, to the field. Chaz said and Chthonian Soldier disappeared in particle of lights and was created into black armor man with giant axe in its hand and was sitting on a horse. You're dead, slacker. On my next turn it's over. Chaz sneered as he let out a laugh. The duel isn't over until the life points hit 0. My move draw. Jaden said as he draw his card. His eyes widened and shock and grin appeared on his face. Alright. Now Eyes. The campus security guards is coming. Mito shouted and Jaden is widened in shock and looks at Naruto. Naruto, do it. Jaden said and Naruto nodded and pulled out his card. A rainbow Kurobo. Naruto said and the card flashes in bright light that blinded everyone. After the light was gone everyone opened their eyes and saw Rainbow Kurobo appear before them. What the hell? Chaz said with shock look on his face. Rainbow Kurobo, can you scare the guards off? Naruto asked and Rainbow Kurobo nodded at him and flew out to the duel arena exit. Soon they could hear screams coming from the guards. Monster. Save me. Everyone eyes widened in shock as they heard the screams of the guards. Akiza looked at Naruto with disbelief. He had the same powers as her. Wow, that Kurobo can sure scare them. Sira said. Ditto, Mito said. Now let's finish the duel, Jaden said, and everyone turned back to the duel. You know Chaz, you said that I'm finished, right? Jaden asked and Chaz just sneered at him. Got that right, slacker. You have no more monster and my monster has a piercing effect, so whatever monster you have there. It won't help. Chaz said arrogantly. I have disagree with that. Jaden said with a smirk on his face. I play the magic card. Monster Reborn. What? Chaz shouted in shock. And I bring back elemental hero Flame Wingman. Jaden said and Flame Wingman appeared at the field once again. Now destroy his monster. Skydiving Scorch. Flame Wingman body was covered with flames and jumps into the air and dives down towards Chaz monster. An explosion was created when the impact was made. Chaz. 1200. Jaden. 550. Thanks to my Flame Wingman special effect you're finish. Jaden said. Chaz. 0. Jaden. 550. That's game. Jaden said as he did his signature pose. Chaz looks up and glare at him. You're just lucky, that's all. Chaz shouted at Jaden and he just shrugged at him. Lucky or not. I win the duel, but I won't accept your card. But if you want to duel again, I'll be happy to accept it, Jaden said with a grin on his face. Chaz got up and left the arena with grumpy mood with his lackey following him. Now let's get out of here, Alexa said and everyone nodded at her and left the arena. Man, that was a sweet duel, Jaden said with grin on his face. Yeah, I thought would lose. But you won, Sira said happily. Then suddenly they heard noises. They turned to where it was coming from and saw Rainbow Kurobo was approaching them. Rainbow Kurobo, Naruto said as he catches Rainbow Kurobo. Thanks a lot, Rainbow Kurobo, I owe you a favor, Jaden said as he petted Rainbow Kurobo head. Kuri. Rainbow Kurobo chirped happily before he disappeared in small particles of light. How did Naruto make that Kurobo come to life? Alexis asked. Jaden looks at Naruto, the blonde just sigh and nodded at him before turns back his attention to the girls. Well, my brother here is a psychic duelist. He has the ability to materialize any duel monster to life, Jaden explained, and this causes the two girls' eyes widen in shock. When did you have that ability? I don't remember you having that ability, brother, Mito said, and her eyes widen in shock in what she just said and quickly covered her mouth. Everyone's eyes widen in shock in hearing her words, except for Naruto, who sent her a glare that made her flinch. I'm not your brother anymore, Mito, not anymore, Naruto said coldly to her. Everyone was surprised at Naruto's sudden change of attitude. Whoa, there bro. What's with the sudden change? Jaden asked and Naruto let out a sigh. He knew that he couldn't hide it any longer. Sorry, I don't want to talk about it, Naruto said as he started to walk away, but then Mito suddenly grabbed his wrist to stop him. Brother, please. Smack. Everyone's eyes widen in shock in what Naruto just did. He just slapped his sister across the was on the ground and looks up at Naruto and saw that he was glaring at her with cold eyes. Don't ever call me your brother again. You and that family and have neglected me for too long. You're not my sister and I'm not the son of those two, and to answer your question, when I got my psychic powers is the day when I ran away from that hellhole, Naruto said with an icy cold tone that would made anyone flinch. Mito's eyes widened in shock hearing those words and bowed her head in shame. With no more words to be said, Naruto left, leaving Mito and the others. The day was a bad day to him. Sent from Fast Notepad. Chapter 5. Well folks, ask and ye shall receive. Here's Chapter 5, Duel in Love. A week has passed since the duel with Jaden and Chaz and discovery of Naruto's true identity. Naruto explained to Jaden that he was the biological son of two powerful duelists named Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. He explained to his friends that he was neglected by his parents for his younger sister, causing him to run away. Jaden and his friends were shocked in hearing his story and fully realize his situation and couldn't help but feel sorry for him. Naruto told them to keep it a secret and they agreed to it, which Naruto was really thankful. Now Naruto, Jaden and his friends were classed with Crowler as the prof for this time. Alexa stood up from her seat. Duel monsters cards can be grouped into normal monster cards, effect monster cards, ritual monster cards, fusion monster cards, trap cards, and spell cards. Trap cards can be grouped into normal traps, continuous traps, and counter traps. Spell cards can be grouped into normal spells, quick play spells, field spells, continuous spells, equip spells and ritual spells. She addressed to the entire class with confidence. Crowler clapped happily after she was done. Perfect. Well done, Alexis. Of course I expect nothing less from one of my top obelisks, he added snobbishly at the end there. Yes, Dr. Crowler. Alexa sat back down in her seat, sharing a nod with Asami as she sat back down. Now then, who shall we question next? Crowler scanned his eyes across the room again, but this time he zoned in on Cirrus. He started grinning deviously. You. Cirrus Truesdale. His voice caused the little, light blue-haired boy to jump to his seat. Explain to the class what a field spell is, please. A field spell is the thing that affects the thing. Cirrus started stammering and shaking, trying to avert his eyes from the class. Naruto, Yusei and Jaden all sent glares towards Crowler. They knew how Cirrus lacked self-confidence and they especially hated how Crowler was bullying him. I can answer that, Dr. Crowler. Jaden spoke up, causing all eyes to close on him. A field spell is an unique type of spell card that can grant certain monsters various ATK and defs boost and special powers. One of them just so happens to be the failed spell Skyscraper Jaden used on you during your duel, Yusei added, causing Crowler to fume. You know, Mr. Crowler, being a slifer doesn't mean that we are weak. After all, 2 slifers were able to beat you, and also I did beat you with 1 turn, Naruto said as Yusei and Jaden grinned. This causes the male obelisk to look at him with anger while the slifers were looking at them like they were their leaders. I will make sure to expel them even if it's the last thing I do. Crowler mentally shouted, vowing to get vengeance on the Slifers. It was now time for gym. As Naruto was walking from his locker, he noticed Cirrus running over towards him. "What's up, Cirrus?" Naruto asked a younger Slifer. "Naruto, I just found this. It's a love letter from Alexis," Cirrus said, handing it to Naruto. "It's fake," Naruto said, handing it back to Cirrus. "How do you know?" Cirrus is confused. "Just trust me," sighed Jaden. "Hasn't even known the girl for a week, so there's no way she'd fall for him at first sight," Naruto said before going join the others. Meanwhile, Yusei was on free period and was currently resting under a nearby tree, his mind flowing like cool wind. "I thought I'd find you here," Akiza said before sitting beside him. "That was a really nice thing you did for Cirrus." Yusei smiled. "Yeah, well, that's just me, never could stand bullies," Yusei said, causing Akiza to chuckle. A few years ago, Akiza's father, Senator Izinski, had called up Yugimoto because he'd heard about one of his students possessing psychic powers. Akiza had them as well and couldn't control them and was often outcast because of them, so he'd hoped this student could help. That was when Akiza met Naruto, Yusei, and Mana. With them, Akiza didn't feel alone, and she had finally found a place she could belong, and with Naruto guidance, she learned to control her powers and also found a brother in Naruto and a sister in Mana. However, she felt something different with Yusei. He would always comfort her when she felt ashamed of her powers. He told they made even more special and that it was a gift, not a curse. He'd even given her a special curler to control her powers. Naruto and Mana would often tease them about being in love with each and making kissing noises whenever they could. In fact, Naruto had also secretly made a betting pool on them. And was true that Akiza and Yusei did like each other, they were just a damn shy to admit it to the other. Later that day, Cirrus made his way to the Obelisk Blue girls' dormitory, a happy grin on his face as he went to meet Alexis. "Can you believe that Jaden guy?" a woman asked as she bathed in a hot tub. "I know," said a different girl also bathing in the hot tub. "That was totally rude the way he spoke to Dr. Crowler." She turned to face the third person bathing in the hot tub and asked, "Don't you agree, Alexis, Mito?" "Well, I say, Crowler got what he deserved anyway," Mito said, and Mindy and Jasmine looks at her confused. He did have a point. It was not right to pick on someone just because of their rankings. And also, Jaden was able to beat Crowler in one turn, Alexis pointed out. "Besides, I think it was cool in what he did in class." "What do you mean by that?" Jasmine asked, and before they heard a scream from outside. "It's a boy!" a girl shrieked from outside the bathhouse. Mindy, Jasmine, Mito and Alexis quickly grabbed some towels and wrapped them around their bodies before rushing outside. When Alexis saw who the boy that was caught and tied up by the girls was, she was shocked and temporarily speechless. "What are you doing here, Cirrus?" Mindy demanded an answer. "I came to ask Alexis a question," Cirrus said in distressed tone as he held his eyes closed. "I didn't know that the Obelisk Blue girls' dorm bathed at this hour, I swear," Cirrus pleaded. "Leave him to us," Alexis said. The other girls were about to complain, but stopped and ran away upon seeing Alexis's and Mito's cold glare as they Cirrus and took him to the main Obelisk girl dorm. "So, why are you here?" Alexis asked. "And the answer better not be spying on us," Mindy said. "I swear I wasn't spying on you. And I didn't know the bath hours here," Cirrus said, pleading his case. "Then why are you here, Cirrus?" Alexis asked. "Because I needed to make sure of something. Jaden got a love letter from you saying to meet him here after curfew. Naruto didn't believe it, but I had to make sure that it was a fake so he didn't get in trouble," Cirrus said. "A likely story," Jasmine said. "It's true. Here, it's in my pocket," Cirrus said as he fished it out and the girls looked it over. "I can see why Naruto didn't believe it. My name is spelled wrong," Alexis said as Cirrus smiled. "But you're still in trouble, you know," Midori said and Cirrus' eyes widened in shock. "What do you mean?" Cirrus asked. "You still trespassed at the girls' dorm, which is a major offense," Mindy said with a smirk on her face. Cirrus had a horrified look on his face. "So what now?" Jasmine asked. "I tell you what now. I say we use Sai here as a kind of bait to find out what I've been wondering about before," Alexa said. She turned to her friends. "You up for a little tag duel?" Mito nodded. "Finally. A few more steps to go and the duel project is finished," Yusei said happily as he and Naruto were walking back to his dorm. They were completely happy today. "Maybe we should make Jaden one. After all, he is my little brother," Naruto said. When they reached to their room, the door suddenly burst open and saw Jaden and Mana both had a panic look on their face. "Jaden, what's wrong?" Naruto asked as he saw the concerned look on his little brother's face. "Naruto, Cirrus is in big trouble," Jaden and Mana exclaimed. Naruto, Yusei, Jaden, Mana and Akiza were heading to the girls' dorm via boat. When they arrived at the girls' dorm, they saw Mito and Alexis standing waiting there with Mindy and Jasmine with Cirrus tied up. So you two finally arrived. Alexa said. Mito looks uncomfortably at Naruto glowering towards them. Naruto and Jaden steps out from the boat and looks at them with serious look on their faces. Hey guys. Sira said. Hey Sirius. So, what exactly is going here? Jaden asked. Well, to make a long story short I should have listened to Naruto. Sira said. You got that right. I'm heading back. Naruto said as he walked away. What? Everyone screamed as Naruto merely turned back chuckling. Just kidding. Naruto said laughing causing the others to face fault. But his smile soon turned serious. We're here, so release our friend already. Naruto said as he glares at them. Now hold on, your friend here trespassed at the girls' dorm, which is a major offense. Mito said. And now you're also trespassing, which mean you're in as much trouble as he is. If you don't want us to tell on you then you better listen to Alexis. Jasmine said and Naruto just sent a glare at the girl that made her flinch. Although we're wondering why Manayami and Akiza Izinski are in a boys' dorm than in the girls' dorm, since all girls become obelisk blue, Mindy said getting a raspberry from the brunette. We don't need to explain anything to you, Mana argued. So, how are we going to settle this? Naruto asked and Alexis smirked at them. A duel, you win, you all walk away free, but lose not only are we report you all to the authorities, but Mana and Akiza will be moved to the obelisk blue dorm, Alexis said both girls glaring at her terms. Naruto Jaden her I don't want to see you go or be part of the snob brigade Mana said making the obelisk girls glare at her comment. That's what I like to hear. Let's get started. Jaden said and Naruto looks at Alexis with narrowed eyes. Who's your partner? Naruto asked and Alexis pointed at Mito. Alexis said to Naruto and the blonde male narrowed his eyes at Alexis before at Mito, who flinches from Naruto's glare. Fine. Was the only thing that Naruto responded to Alexis. After retrieving two more boats, Jaden and Naruto were on one and other side were Alexis and Mito. Now, hear how it works, Alexis said as she activated her dual disc and the others did the same. We all have 8,000 life points, and I will take the first turn, then Naruto then Mito and finally Jaden. Are we clear? Alexis asked and he got nods of confirmation from everyone. Okay, let's start. Duel. Naruto Jaden, 8,000. Alexis Mito, minus 8,000. Alright. Alexis said as she drew her card. I summon a Toil Cyber, 1200-1600 in attack mode, a red-headed ballerina appeared on the field, then I set a face down and end my turn. My move, draw. Naruto said as he draws his card. I'll start by activating Graceful Charity I draw 3 and discard 2 he said as he did what the card said. Then I activate 2 spell card Gateway of the 6 and 6 Emerai United, and since I have no monsters while you have one I special summon Elder of the 6 Emerai, 400 in attack mode, and activate the spell card Asceticism of the 6 Emerai and special summon Kagemusha of the 6 Samurai 400 1800s in attack mode, he said as he summoned. As monster. Now I activate 6 Emerai United and send it to the graveyard and draw 2 cards he did as the card instructed. He drew his cards and continued now I special summon Grandmaster of the 6 Emerai 2100 800 in attack mode, then I activate Monster Reborn he said. Alexis was confused wait you need a monster target in the graveyard and I still have my Toil Cyber on the field she said. Then Naruto chuckled who said I was aiming for your graveyard this shocked Alexis, then she remembered Graceful Charity from before, so you purposely sent a monster to the graveyard? She asked. Naruto grinned bingo. Now rise up my great Shogun Shen, 2500-2400 in attack mode. Now I tune my level 2 Kagemusha of the 6 Emerai with my level 3 Elder of the 6 Emerai. He said as the two monsters jumps in the air. Kagemusha turned to 2 green rings and surrounded Elder of the 6 Emerai. May your blade be true and your will be strong as your sword. Synchro summon. A blast of light appear before him. Appear before me legendary 6 Emerai Cheyenne, 2500-1400, Naruto roared as the giant pillar of light disappeared and was replaced with a warrior clad in red samurai armor and was carrying a serrated edge katana. The monster's appearance sent shivers down both girls' spines having seen it at the entrance exam. Draw. Mito said as she draws her card. I use the spell card Ancient Rule. This allows me to special summon one level 5 or higher normal monster from my hand. I special summon the almighty Red Eyes Black Dragon. 2400-2000, Mito said. What? The brothers shouted and a black dragon with red eyes appeared on the field and let out a threatening roar. Whoa, that's one sweet card. Jaden grinned as he saw the dragon appeared before him. She has the legendary Red Eyes Black Dragon. Sirius asked in shock. Mito's deck is filled with dragons. She's on par with Alexis. Jasmine said. So better start packing now because you and your friends are going bye-bye Mindy said to Sirius. The short boy looks at the duel with a worry on his face, while Mana glares. Then I set a face down and end my turn. My turn, draw. Jaden said as he draws his card. I summon elemental hero Clayman, 802 thousandths in defense position and end my turn. Jaden said as Clayman appeared on the field on defense position. I see that you have the same deck as that bastard father of yours Mito. Naruto said to Mito. He's still your father, brother. Mito said softly to Naruto and the blonde just glared at her. What is he talking about? Alexis asked Jaden. It's not my place to say it. Jaden said to Alexis. Alexis looked at her best friend with a concerned look on her face. Mito Alexis said softly before turning her attention back to the duel. I draw. Alexis said as she drew a card. I summon Cyber Tutu, 1000 1000ths to the field. A ballerina with a white tutu appeared on the field. Then I'll end my turn. I think I'll end this duel, draw. Naruto said smirking at the card he'd drawn. First, I activate Pot of Greed allowing me to draw the cards. Next I'll summon 6 Samurai Yachi, 1300 800 and thanks to his special ability I'm allowed to destroy one spell or trap on the field and I choose Naruto said looking around before pointed Mito's with a cruel smirk. Yachi then pulled out his bow, launching his arrow piercing the card causing it to shatter. No. Mito cried in horror. Finally I activate 6 strike triple impact to destroy all your remaining monsters. The 3 samurai brought together their sword as flash of lightning destroys both Alexis Ibers and Mito's dragon. Shogun attack her directly. He commanded and his monster jumped into action aimed to finish her monster off. Naruto Jaden. 8000. Mito Alexis. 5500. And don't forget my other monsters, Grandmaster, Cheyenne attacked them directly. He commanded his monsters to attack the now defenseless blonde. The 2 warrior monsters then drew their blades and charged at Alexis and Mito. Naruto Jaden. 8000. Mito Alexis. 900. I'll end my turn. Naruto said smirking while his friends all cheered. I draw. Mito said looking at her hand. I said one card face down and then I'll summon Luster Dragon in defense mode. A beautiful purple dragon appeared on the field. Then I said a face down and end my turn. My turn, draw. Jaden said as he draws his card. A smile appearing on his face. Okay first I'll set one card face down. Then I'll activate polymerization fussing my Clayman on the field with a Sparkman in my hand to form the elemental hero Thunder Giant. 2400 1500. Jaden said as Clayman leaps to the air with Sparkman his side and 2 combine into a giant warrior wearing a yellow armor and was surrounded with lightning appeared before them. Now I use his special effect. I discard one card to target one face-up monster on the field with original ATK less than his own and destroy that target. I choose Luster Dragon. Jaden said and Mito's eyes widen in shock. What? Mito shouted. Now go Thunder Giant. Thunder Giant shot lightning from his hands and destroyed Mito's monster. Trap activate. Mirror Force. Mito shouted as she reveals her trap card. This destroy all the monsters on my opponent's side of the field that are in attack position. Naruto then chuckled making Alexis nervous and what's so funny? Naruto then looked at her that would have worked if it wasn't for Cheyenne's special ability he said as Cheyenne drew his sword and cut her trap card in half. Alexis was shocked but how? Naruto then answered her question Cheyenne's special ability allows him to negate the activation of any spell trap card and destroys them, so like I said it could have worked, but with Cheyenne on the field, your plan went down the drain he said as his monster continued her assault, thus destroying her monster. Thanks bro. Jaden said as he and Naruto gave each other a thumbs up. Mito looks at them with jealousy in her eyes. Now Thunder Giant direct attack. Jaden commanded as his warrior unleashed a torrent of thunder on the 2 girls. Naruto Jaden. 8000. Mito Alexis. 0. Alexis and Mito fell on their hands and knees frustrated at her defeat. What just happened? Jasmine asked not believing that Alexis and Mito lost to a pair Slifers of all things. And that's games the brothers said striking their pose. Unknown to everyone that someone was watching the duel from the water. It was Crowler wearing a black underwater suit. He watching the whole duel and couldn't help but glare at Naruto who had a smile on his face while trying to calm Judai down before capsizing the boat. Next time. I will make sure that they get expelled. Crowler thought as he started to think of a scheme again. As soon as I get a ride move Crowler said to himself before submerging and leaving the scene before he too was spotted. We lost. So like we promise I won't tell anyone and won't demand that Mana and Akiza be moved to Obelisk Alexa said. Cirrus cheered and the Slifers got into a group hug. If you ask me, we should just turn in the boys anyway and have those 2 be moved to Obelisk immediately. Jasmine snapped. No one asked you. Mana snapped making the brunette flinch. You know what how about you and me settle this? Mana said. What? Jasmine asked as Mana smirked. Yeah you and me win and me and Akiza will switch lose you put and shut up. Mana said. Mana no. Sira said trying to stop only to feel Naruto pat his shoulder. Just sit back and watch. Naruto said as they watched the two girls prepare to duel. Let's duel. Mana and Jamseen said in unison. I'll star, I draw. Mana said drawing her card and smiled. I summon Apple Magician Girl in defense MOTE 1200-800. A raven-haired girl dressed in similar clothing to Dark Magician Girl appears striking a cute pose. Wow, who's that? Sira said in awe. Mana uses a Magician Girl's deck, it's a special deck only she possesses. Yusei said. I end my turn. Mana said with a smile. That's all I knew, you were all talk my turn. Jasmine taunted as she drew her card. I summon Cyber Harpy in attack mode. 1800-1300. Now attack. Jasmine said as her harpy raised her whip to strike on to be blocked by a powerful blast of pink energy. What? Jasmine shouted when the light cleared there. Standing between Mana's Apple Magician Girl and Jasmine's Cyber Harpy was none other than Dark Magician Girl. BDD Dark Magician Girl. Sirius was now close fainting seeing his card crush. How did you? Jasmine stirred it as Mana chuckled. Apple Magician Girl lets me summon a spellcaster from my hand whenever she's attacked and makes that the target of your attack. Also the attacking monster's at points are cut in half, which means your harpy is toast. Mana said as her other self destroyed the now weakened harpy LADY 1800-900. Mana. 4000. Jasmine. 2900. I set one card face down and end my turn. Jasmine finished. I move now, draw. Mana said, I sacrifice my Apple Magician Girl in order to summon my Kiwi Magician Girl. 1800-1200. In a column of light, Apple Magician Girl was replaced with an older spellcaster similar to Magician of Black Chaos. And thanks to my new magician all other spellcasters can't be destroyed by card effects. Mana said, causing Jasmine to gasp. Now her trap was useless. Okay ladies, go. Double Magician Girl's burning attack. Both women raised their wands before unleashing a black of pink and green energy at Jasmine. Mana. 4000. Jasmine. 0. That's game. Mana said, turning to her friends and blowing a kiss to Sirius alongside her monsters. That last bit caused the short slifer to faint. Well, I guess that settles it about Mana and Akiza. Besides, we were never in any real trouble. Naruto said before Yusei and Mana pulled out their PDAs with all access on the screen, shocking everyone. How do you have all access? Alexis asked. The three of us actually work for Kiaba. He wanted us in Obelisk's blue since I beat 3 times, Naruto said, causing everyone but Yusei, Akiza and Mana to gasp. The formers all facepalmed. Naruto may be the best duelist in the world, but he was an idiot sometimes. What? Naruto asked. What? You just told us you defeated one of the 3 strongest duelists in the world and act like it's no big deal. Mindy shouted. What next? You've met Yugimoto. Well yeah, he's my sensei. Naruto said, causing the Obelisk girls, Jaden and Sirius's jaws to drop. When Naruto saw the looks on the group's faces, shit. Bro. Naruto shouted, causing the others to jump in fear before rowing back to dorm before they could be questioned. Chapter 6. Okay guys, start talking. Jaden said with a serious tone. They had finally arrived back at the dorm. Jaden and Sirius were glaring at Naruto and the others. Naruto let out a sigh and scratched the back of his neck. I guess you want to know how we met Yugimoto. Naruto said, and the two nodded at him. Okay, but just swear that you won't tell this to anybody. Sirius and Jaden looked at each other before looking back at Naruto and nodded at him. Okay, me and Yus met Yugi when we was faced each other in the Junior Cup finals. He was impressed by our skills and asked to take us on as his students. Naruto said, causing Jaden and Sirius' eyes to widen. After that we spent the next 3 years learning everything we could from him. But no matter how strong we got, we could never win, Yusei said. And when I discovered my powers, they introduced me to Naruto. That's how I met Yusei and Mana. Akiza added. But what about Mana? Sirius asked, looking at the magician user. Oh, I'm just a family friend of the Mutos is all. Man said, chuckling nervously. So where's the deck? Can we see it? Sirius said with an excited look, and Naruto shook his head as response. Sorry Sai, no can do, you're just gonna have to wait. Naruto said, smirking at Jaden and Sirius' disappointment. Well, we've had enough excitement, time for bed, Mana said as she yawned. The Slider crew went back to their respective rooms to rest. Where are we going, Naruto? Sirius asked. After breakfast, Naruto and Yusei were leading Jaden and Sirius to the deeper part of the forest. Just follow us. Naruto said, and the two boys kept quiet until they were finally arrived in their destination. Yusei crouched down and removed some dirt of the ground and reveals a keyhole. Why is there a keyhole? Jaden asked, but Naruto ignored it and inserted a key that was hanging around his neck. When he turns the key, the ground suddenly rise up and reveal a secret passage. Whoa. A secret passage. Jaden said with shock. Come on, let's go, Naruto said as he and Yusei entered the passage. The two quickly followed. When they all entered the passage, it suddenly closed. Sira screamed and jumped into Jaden's arms. Jill sighed, Jaden said with a sweat drop. Naruto chuckled while Yusei shook his head. This way. Yusei said to them as he and Naruto started to walk ahead, and the two followed. As they walked down the dark passage, light started to appear in the room that made Jaden and Sirius close their eyes for a few seconds. When they opened their eyes again, and they were wide opened in what they saw. Whoa, Jaden and Sirius said as they looked around in awe. Everything was futuristic and very high-tech. There were loads of gadgets scattered around the room. They also saw a giant screen's computer with multiple monitors surrounding it, but the thing that caught them in the eye was that something in the center of the room. Two motorcycles, on red, the other white, with a dual disc attached to each. Dude, what is this? Jaden asked as he and Sirius approaches the bikes and examine them. Naruto smiles and touches the white one. This, my friends, is our latest project. Naruto said before turning to them with a grin. These are D-Wheels, the next evolution or dueling. D-Wheels? Jaden and Sirius said with confusion. Yusei nodded. It's a project me and Naruto have been working on. And once this project is done, every duelist can duel while riding on wheels. Naruto said, and this causes Jaden and Sirius to look at him with wide eyes. No way. Jaden and Sirius said with shock, and the blonde just smirked at them. Yes way, duelist will be able to face each in realistic virtual environments thanks to the new solid vision. Naruto said. New solid vision? Sirius asked. As Yusei nodded. A new type of solid vision Naruto's being developing solid vision with mass, Yusei said. Naruto smirked. Yep, soon duelists won't just be watching their monsters duke it out, they'll be able to take part the action too. Naruto said, shocking Jaden and Sirius even more. Yusei smiled and turned to Naruto. Perhaps a demonstration would be useful, Naruto. Yusei said, and Naruto nodded. Yusei walked over to the desk and strapped a dual disc resampling the original model. He placed his Kuribo on the disc, and the white Kuribo brother appears in front of the two Slifers. Go ahead, touch it. Naruto said. Jaden walked up to Kuribo and touched its head, and his eyes widened. Whoa, it's solid, come here, Sai. Jaden said, looking at the younger Slifer. Sirius was hesitant at first, but walked and touched the furry creature only to become shocked as well. How is this possible? This new solid vision creates actual realistic holograms capable interacting with duelists in combat. Yusei explained, returning Kuribo. Naruto's working on incorporating it into the D-Wheel system. Well, I told you my secret. Now are you all satisfied? Naruto asked. Well, not yet. Jaden said, and Naruto looks at him confused. What do you mean? Naruto asked. You still owe me a favor, bro. You've been hiding this from me a long time. Jaden said with a grin on his face, and Naruto and Yusei let out a sigh and scratched the back of his head. Alright, what do you want? Naruto asked, and Jaden pointed at the duel runner. You make me one of those and teach me. Jaden said, and Naruto just chuckled at his adopted brother's request. I was planning to make one for you anyway. Naruto said before he looks at Sirius. How about you, Sirius? Want one? Sirius shook his head as his response. No thanks, something tells me that I might have problem riding that kind of things in the future. Naruto nodded in understanding. A week has passed since the incident in the girls' dorm and Naruto revealing his secrets. Jaden, Sirius and Chumley, who also now knows Naruto and the other secrete the Slifer crew, would hang out together and check out Naruto and Yusei as they worked on the D-Wheels. Now Naruto and the gang are in the Slifer dorm and getting ready for the test today. Please, please, please. Please help me ace my exam today, or I'll be stuck wearing this red blazer forever. Not that there's anything wrong with red, of course. It's great on you, Slifer. But I want to be a yellow. Please give me a sign that you'll help. Sirius prayed. Bring Slifer. Sirius shouted in shock as Jaden's alarm went off. Sirius turned it off while Jaden just slept through. Sirius then tried to wake Jaden up, but Jaden was a heavy sleeper. Let him sleep, Sirius. Little bro is a heavy sleeper. Let's just save him a seat in class. Naruto said, and Sirius just looked at Naruto for a few seconds and sigh in defeat before nodding at him. Alright, let's go, Sirius said as they walk out from dorm and headed towards class. Alright class. The first part of the test is a written exam. You have 40 minutes to finish. Professor Banner explained to the class. Soon the students were starting the test, and so far many of the students were struggling to solve each problem, even the smart ones. After 15 minutes have passed. Naruto, Yusei, Mana and Akiza all rose from their seats. Oh, can I help you with a question, Naruto? Banner asked. Nope. We're done. Naruto said as Banner went wide-eyed. Done? Banner asked. Yeah, finished. Complete. Man said as she handed Banner the test. But it's only been 15 minutes. Banner said. Yeah, right. Probably got them all wrong. Chaz said. Are you all sure? You still have more time to work if you like. Banner said. No, we're good. I'm confident they're all right. Akiza said with a smile. Well, since you finished early, why don't I grade it now to show you how you did? Banner asked as Naruto nodded. Naruto got a spare chair and sat next to Banner as Banner began to grade the quiz. There's no way they could be done so fast. Slifer slackers must have cheated. Chaz thought. I'm impressed, I'm only halfway done with mine. Bastion thought. About 10 minutes passed and Professor Banner finished grading Naruto's test and was shocked. The four of you have enough points to advance to Obelisk Blue with these scores. All you have to do now is pass the practical test now. Banner said, and this causes everyone to look at him shocked, but Naruto and Mana did something that surprises them more. They laughed. Ahahaha. That's a good one. Naruto said as he laughs and everyone looks at him like he was crazy. Sorry Professor Banner, but there's no way in hell that we're ever going to join Obelisk Blue. After all, they are just a bunch of stuck-up kids that only use their money and influence to move above the rank. Only few people in Obelisk Blue deserve my respect, but the rest of them they are trash, Naruto stated, and this caused majority amount of the Obelisk students to glare at him. You slifer slacker. You should respect us. An Obelisk student said and Naruto turned around to face them. Respect is earned, not given. If any of you want me to respect you then prove it in the field, your rank means shit if you can't prove it. Naruto said as he hardens his glare at a majority of the Obelisk students. I'll be going now Professor Banner, Yusei said. I'm going as well, Banner Sensei Akiza said following her friend. Of course Yusei Akiza, you two can go ahead and good luck at the practical exams, Banner said as both just nodded at him. Once they left the room Banner still noticed that the students were still glaring at Naruto and Mana. He let out a fake cough that causes the students to snap out from their thoughts and look at Banner. You know there are only 20 minutes left students. Banner said causing everyone to panic and started to answer again as Jaden enters the room. The two were sitting under the same tree that they would eat lunch. Yusei lay under the shade with his hands behind his head while Akiza sat next to him. You know, every Obelisk Blue student is going to be gunning to take you and the others down in the practic exam, Akiza said with worry. Yusei shrugged. Let them try, I'll show them what the power of hard work can truly do. Yusei said unfazed. Akiza sighed, stubborn as ever, if you keep doing this you'll make powerful enemies, Akiza warned. Yusei sighed, it wouldn't be the first time, I've always had to fight, it's just how I was raised. Yusei said, recalling his days as an orphan. Yusei, I'm being serious, if anything happened to you, Akiza said, but was stopped as Yusei gentle caressed her cheek causing her to blush. I made a promise, remember? Yusei said. Flashback. Why are you so persistent to save this girl? A man spoke to bruised Yusei, blood flowing from his lip. I swore to Akiza that I would protect her. I promised. Yusei roared as his body released a golden aura. Flashback end. Akiza then placed her hand over his and nodded. She looked at him and sighed. Alright Yusei, just know that I'll be at your side in whatever you decide to do, she said, getting up. Yusei then turned to her. What? Yusei asked as he got up. Akiza then walked over to him and places her hands on his chest. You heard me, I'll always be at your side in whatever you decide to do, because I've always admired your tenacity, kindness, loyalty, your undying will, and determination to see things through till the end. Akiza said, I guess those are some of the qualities that drew me to you the most. Now I know this feeling in my heart, she said looking down, then she looked into his blue eyes. Yusei, I love you, Akiza confessed. Yusei's eyes widened, he couldn't believe what he was hearing, Akiza had confessed to him. The Synchro user had always felt close to Akiza and was often teased by Naruto and Mana and flat out denied any of it. Then Akiza did something that completely caught him off guard. She got on her tiptoes and kissed him on the lips. His eyes widened, then they slowly closed and he wrapped his arms around her and hugged her, bringing her closer, thus deepening the kiss. The two were like that for about 5 minutes until the need for air took over and the two parted from their kiss. Wow, Yusei said, unable to describe the feelings rushing through him. Naruto got some lunch and returned to the room to see how Jaden and Cirrus did. He walked to the door when they burst opened and all the students ran down the hallway in a hurry. What's going on? Naruto asked. Oh, today's the day that the card shop gets their new rare cards. Banner said. Rare cards? Naruto asked. Yes. So students rushed the shop to boost their deck before their field tests. Banner said as he and Pharaoh left. Naruto walked in to see Cirrus and Jaden sleeping with Bastion trying to wake them. Heavy sleepers. Bastion said as Naruto got an idea. Hey, little bro. I got the golden egg witch. Naruto shouted as Jaden shouted to his feet. I'll fight you for it. Jaden shouted as he realized where he was. Where's my egg witch? There's no egg witch. That was just to wake you up. Naruto said laughing while Jaden glared at his brother. Huh? The test's over. I failed, didn't I? Cirrus asked. Sigh, if they were grading on melodrama, you'd get an A, Mana joked. Hey, where'd everyone go? Cirrus asked. That's what I was trying to wake you up. The new rare cards arrived today. Everyone's at the card shop. Bastion said. What, new cards? Cirrus shouted. Hey, how come no one told us? Probably because everyone wants the best cards to themselves to use in the upcoming field test. Bastion said. So, why aren't you guys getting any? Cirrus asked. Please, one errant card in my deck's perfect balance would throw it completely off. Bastion said. And our decks are all set too. Naruto said in Mononodex. Mine isn't. Cirrus said. Then let's go. Jaden said as he and Cirrus left while Naruto and Mana chuckled following behind them. Jaden and Cirrus ran to the card shop to see no one there and all the new rare cards were gone. With only one regular pack left. Jaden gladly offered it to Cirrus, but soon Dorothy the shop owner, whom Jaden had helped, repaid his kindness with a pack shed kept for polite students. While Jaden, Mana and Cirrus went to the duel arena, Naruto had decided to go make some last-minute checks to his deck. As Naruto shifted through his cards he soon pulled out 4 special ones, one of them being his odd eyes. As he looked over the other 3 he could hear a low growl coming from each one. Easy guys, you'll all get your chance to fight soon enough. Naruto said, causing the growl to soften as 4 dragon-like figures stood beside him. Naruto finally arrived at the arena and looks around and saw the place was packed. Then he spotted Cirrus and others. He quickly approaches them. Hey guys. Naruto said cheerfully at the others. Cirrus the first one to greet him. Naruto. Where have you been? Jaden match just ended. Cirrus said and Naruto was surprised at this. Really? Wow. Who he beat? Naruto asked. He was confident that Jaden would crush his opponent. Chaz, and thanks to that winged Kurobo card and the magic card he had and the lucky draw to finish the duel. Cirrus said. Naruto nodded his head. He decided to ask Jaden for the details later. As he made his way to the field he saw Jaden, Alexis and Mito. Jaden was able to spot Naruto and run towards him. Bro. You're finally here. You missed our match. Jaden said and Naruto just smiled at him before he looks at Alexis and Mito. Mito gave him a sad smile. Naruto decided to ignore this and looks at Jaden. Yeah, Cirrus already told me. Anyway, let's check on Mana and Aki. Naruto said, walking to the area his true sisters were dueling. Jaden looked at him confused but just nodded at him. Naruto just passed them, ignoring the girls and headed to the field. Their brother just ignored us. Alexis stated with pissed off look on her face. Mito's smile turned into a frown as she watches her brother walk away from them. Come on Alexis, it's cool. It's just bros focused on the matches. Jaden said that made Alexis glare at him, which made him flinch. Well, I'm not a very rude person, you know. Alexis said, glaring at him. Meanwhile Naruto and the others caught up to see Mana and Akiza's duels. Akiza, LP. 4000. Bra student LP. 1300. Akiza. I sacrifice my rose witch and call forth my most deadly flower. Akiza said as Rose Witch was engulfed in a pillar of light. Descending from the field was a woman with long curly blonde hair and a pair of wings with red rose petals for feathers. Her face was completely covered by a white mask and she had on an elaborate red and black Victorian-style dress. In her hand she carried a large wide ornate sword 2400-1300. The raw student backed away with a slight hint of fear. Akiza. End this now, Rose slash. Akiza yelled as Queen Angle brought down its sword on her opponent. Brah. Bra LP0. Akiza smiled as her partner monster bowed before vanishing into her deck. The female psychic soon heard the sound of many voices shouting and turned to see her friends cheering her on. Akiza ran up the steps and embraced Yusei in a tight hug. New Naruto said as his and Mana became bug-eyed at the affection their friends were showing. Does this mean what I think it does? Mana said giddy with excitement. Both Akiza and Yusei nodded, causing the magician to squeal with happiness. Naruto walked over to the new couple, patting their shoulders. I'm so happy for you guys. Naruto said, glad his surrogate siblings were together. Naruto Yuki report to Arena 5 Yusei Fudo Area 6. Well, it's our turn. Naruto said. Akiza kissed Yusei's cheek, wishing him luck as he and Naruto walked down to the arena floor. When they reached the arena they found their opponents to be none other than Chaz's 2 lackeys. You're going down, you slifer slime. Bubba smirked. Yeah, no one humiliates Chaz and gets away with it. Toffer said. Both boys stood unfazed by the threats. Yusei blinked and Naruto scratched his nose as they looked at the boys. Who are you two? They both asked, causing the obelisk to face fault. We're Toffer Toramaki and Bubba Matoni, you slacker. They yelled in unison. Naruto and Yusei faces gained knowing looks. Oh yeah, Chaz's little lapdogs. Naruto said, causing the boys to growl. This shouldn't take long, Naruto said, activating his dual disc along with Yusei. Duel. The 4 boys shouted. Naruto. 4000. Bubba. 4000. Yusei. 4000. Toffer. 4000. I go first. Bubba said as he drew a card. First I'll set a monster face down in defense mode, a face down monster card appeared. Then, I place 2 card face down and end my turn. Is that all? And here I'll be worried. My move. Naruto said as he draws his card. I'll start by playing Ancient Rule, this allows me to special summon a level 7 or higher monster from my hand. And I choose my buddy Odd Eyes. Naruto said as his faithful dragon appears at his side with a roar. Next I'll summon my legendary 6 Samurai Inishi, 1700-700 in attack mode and with him out, I can call out my buddy Kaizen to join him, 1800-500. Naruto said as the black and green armored warriors stood beside the dragon. Now I'll activate my heavy storm. Naruto shouted holding up his card unleashing a tornado destroying Bubba's set cards. Now Odd Eyes destroy his monster. Odd Eyes slice the face down in half to reveal Oni Tank T34, 1400-1700. And thanks to my partner's ability you take damage equal to half your tank's attack points, go reaction force. Odd Eyes let loot a red sonic blast. Naruto 4000. Bubba 4000 3300. Now guys finish this. Direct attack. Naruto commanded as Kaizen and Inishi struck the obelisk. Naruto 4000. Bubba 3300 0. Bubba fell on his butt as cards fell to the floor, his face filled with horror. He lost to a slifer in one turn. Toffer looked at his fallen friend and then to Naruto and Yusei. First Chaz and now Bubba, if I'm gonna beat this guy I'm gonna have to pay dirty. Toffer had gone first and summoned twin barrel Dragon 1700-200. My turn, draw. Yusei said just as he was about to begin. Toffer called out. Hey slacker, I like to make a little deal with you he said getting Naruto's attention. What kind of deal? Yusei asked weary of what the obelisk student wanted. Quite simple. Forfeit this match and surrender your cards to me and my friend here and if you do I won't post this little video all over the academy, Toffer said with a smirk. What video? Yusei asked. You then grinned a very snake-like grin. A video I took of you and Akiza after the written tests he said, making Yusei glare even more. So what we had a moment big deal, so I'll have to pass on this and continue with this duel, Yusei said drawing his card. Toffer laughed suit yourself he then clicked a button, then the monitors activated and revealed the video he had taken. What was a joyful moment between Yusei and Akiza was turned into a prank to humiliate the two. The obelisk males started to laugh and pointed. Akiza was crying into Mana's shoulder as she held her friend right Jaden, Cirrus and Bastion, shielding her from the laughing crowd. The Slifer and Raw students as well as the female students were disgusted by what those two obelisk blue student had done. Naruto was shocked to see that these two had done, they had not only humiliated Akiza, but they had made her the joke of the entire academy. He then turned to Yusei. Yusei lowered his head allowing his bangs to cover his eye. Ha I told you to forfeit, now your little Slifer slut is now the laughing stock of the whole school, Toffer said as he laughed. Bubba along with him. Shut up Yusei said a black aura surrounding his body, unleashing a wave of killing intent that caused several obelisk males to wet themselves. Yusei held up the card he'd drawn and showed it to Naruto whose eyes widened. Naruto knew what he was asking and nodded. First I play Graceful Charity. Yusei drew 3 new cards and discarded 2. Now I'll summon my junk Synchron, 1300-500. The orange robot boy hop onto the field. Now thanks to his ability the speed warrior in my graveyard returns to the field. And do its own ability so does my Quillbolt hedgehog. A black portal opened and both monsters appears. Now I activate double summon. This allows me an extra summoning this turn. Now I'll offer my 3 monsters and summon Slifer the Sky Dragon. Yusei shouted as the 3 monsters were engulfed in a pillar of light. Emerging from the pillar was a large red serpent dragon with sharp yellow eyes and twin mouths. Ruoer. Everyone was shocked that this kid this Lifer slacker would have one of the most power cards in his possession and not just any monster but the very symbol of his dorm. Now I'll play my card of Sanctity. Now we each must draw until we hold 6 cards. Yusei said adding his new cards. Toffer looked at Mighty God with fear drawing. And I doubt your sorry excuse for a brain nose but for every card in my hand, Slifer gains 1000x attack points and that's 6 Yusei said as Slifer ROARED 6000. Wait can we talk about this Toffer said trying to worm his way of this. No, you heard Akiza now you pay. Yusei roared as Slifer mouth began to fill with yellow energy. No please. Toffer begged. Slifer end this full thunder surge blast Slifer then launched a beam at Toffer, thus making him to forget his face down. The attack made an explosion upon impact. When the dust cleared Toffer was on the ground knocked out. Yusei and Naruto glared at the fallen duelist before walking to their friends. Naruto was then tackled to the ground by a red bullet and was followed by a blue bullet. He looks up and sees both Jaden and Cirrus with wide smiles on their faces. That was awesome. They said in unison. Thanks you guys Naruto said ruffling their hairs. Akiza hugged Yusei, easing the boy's rage. I must say you summoning Slifer was the most unexpected things I've ever seen, Bastion said, still not believing that Yusei had summoned a god card. Well, Naruto's the one who gave it to me, without his say so I couldn't use it. Yusei said, causing the three boys to look at Naruto with shock. You gave him Slifer? Jaden asked. Naruto laughed sheepishly, rubbing back of his head. Let's go home. Tumley were trying to cheer up Cirrus, who was depressed that Jaden, Naruto and others had left the Slifer dorm. Hey Cirrus, if you're gonna mope around, you might as well make me a grilled cheese. The cola boy ranted. I just thought everyone would say goodbye to us at least, Cirrus said sadly. Who said anything about goodbye? A familiar voice said. The Slifers turned to the side to see the Yuki brothers, Yusei, and the girls leaning against the open doorway holding RA yellow jackets covered in plastic. Cirrus stood up in shock. Jaden. What are you doing here? We live here. Jaden replied. Yusei then explained that Chancellor Shepard had promoted them but still allowed them to live in the Slifer dorm. Cirrus ran over to his friends as they embraced in a group hug. Chapter 7. The abandoned dorm, a forbidden place in Duel Academy, and a spooky one at that. It wasn't like any of the dorms. It was a large run-down building with boards over the windows and the front door broken open. Even though the place was deserted and abandoned, one person frequently visited since she came to the island. Alexis Rhodes. She walked through the trees and stopped right at the wall and "Do not enter" sign. Next, she laid down a red rose at base of the wall. Be at peace, brother, wherever you are. Meanwhile, at the Slifer dorm's mess hall, Jaden, Cirrus and Chumley were telling ghost stories. Soon Naruto and Mana joined in as well. I went out into the woods and underneath the full moon, I see a path leading to a cavern that seems abandoned. Cirrus said, taking his turn. Oh really? Jaden asked, interested. And then what? Then at the back of the cavern I see a mysterious lake. So I go in to look very carefully. And under just the right angle of light, at the very bottom of the lake beyond my reflection, I see a rare and powerful card. Naturally, I go to get it, but when I reach out for it, an arm shoots out of the water, grabs me, and begins to pull me into the lake. Help me, not the water, not the water. Apparently Cirrus had gotten too much into his story. Water's not so scary, Jaden said. Even dirty swamp water. Cirrus sighed. You're right, only a chump would be afraid of a story like that, he said, unaware that Chumley had taken a position in the far corner of the room. Still, good story, Jaden said, picking up a 4-star monster called Earthbound Spirit. Mid-level scares for a mid-level card. Apparently, the rules were you had to tell a scary story, depending on the level of the monster was. He then drew a card from the deck. But me, I hope I can get a high number card, but the card Jaden drew was Sinister Serpent, a weak 1-star monster. Oh. Lucky, Cirrus said. Yeah, you lucked out. You don't have to scare us at all with that low card. Chumley walked back to the table. Well, I think I have a story that might do the trick, Jaden said, putting the card down. Actually, it's more of a memory. Back when I was a little kid, I used to hear sounds, but I only hear them way late at night. I think I was dreaming, but then I heard them. They sounded like voices, but not ones that I recognized. I would go into the playroom to investigate, but when I did, there was nothing there at all except my cards. And Cirrus urged. And that's the end of the story. Cirrus and Chumley groaned. Naruto smiled fondly, remembering the day Jaden discovered he could talk to spirits. Hey, at least the story fit the level. Kurogasa shrugged. That's true. Cirrus agreed. But want to hear something strange? Jaden asked. Lately, I started hearing them again. Ha 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 ha. I want to get in on the fright fest. A voice said from behind Jaden. Jaya. The Slider gang suddenly got scared with Ladder being in the corner of the wall and the former Status and Chumley jumping from where the sound came from. It was only Professor Banner and Pharaoh though. You just did, Naruto got out. Yeah, we're kind of on the edge of our seats here, Jaden added. Or at least we were, Cirrus added. Chumley was still back to the corner again, cowering. Everyone relaxed again. But since you're here, why don't you draw a card? The tougher it is, the scarier your story has to be. Well, that sounds easy enough. Let's see. Banner drew a card. It was the 5-headed dragon. Level 12. Mana gaped. I think I'm going to bed now, Cirrus said immediately. Ah ha 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 ha. What is wrong? Don't you want to hear about the abandoned dorm at the end of the island? Abandoned dorm? Everyone asked, Naruto and Mana's eye narrowing slightly with interest. Banner pulled up a chair and sat down. Yes. No one talks about it, but there was once a special dorm set at the edge of the forest. It was actually the Millennium House. It was shut down when several students mysteriously went missing. Where did they go? Cirrus gulped. Well, that's the mystery of it, Banner replied. But rumor was it had something to do with shadow games. Naruto and Mana flinched a bit at this. The shadow games? Cirrus asked. Thanks, you can stop now, Chumley pleaded from behind another table. You see, children, shadow games are duels that are played with mystical objects called the Millennium Items. Duel monsters itself started in ancient Egypt. The form of dueling for the Egyptians was in the shadow games. And if you lost, you got sent to the shadow realm, a mystical place that feeds on the darkness and fear of those who enter it. According to legend, shadow duels were very lethal, and some even led to deaths. Come on, Jaden said dismissively. Millennium Items, shadow games, this stuff can't possibly be true. Little did Jaden know he had also experienced the power of the games once, but the memory had been blocked out by Naruto. Pharaoh yawned. Well, I'm glad what happened then is all over now. And with Pharaoh sleepy, I think that's my cue to get back to my room. Good night, children. Banner left out the door. Good night, Professor, Jaden, Kurugasa, and Sira said. You know, I did see a scary-looking building one time in the forest. Sira said. Sweet, Jaden said. Then you're going to lead us tomorrow night. What the hell are you thinking, Jaden? That place is forbidden for a reason. I'm not allowing you to go there. Naruto said with a stern voice. But. No arguments. I'm not allowing you or anyone going there. Understand? Naruto said with narrowed eyes that made Jaden flinch. I got it, Jaden said with a soft tone, and Naruto nodded at him before he patted Jaden on the head and gave him a smile. At least not without me. Jaden gained a wide smile. Really, bro? Jaden asked as Naruto nodded. Jaden was strolling through the halls of the academy, getting pumped up for tonight's hunt for the abandoned dorm. Turning a corner, he caught sight of Alexis. He saw her staring out the window towards the ocean. She looked to be lost in thought as her body stayed still and her sight looking to be far away. Curious as to what she could possibly be looking at, Jaden looked out the window as well. Nothing out of the ordinary, he observed as he walked, so he was closer to her and the window. The waves were splashing against the rocks, small little drops of water glowing in the air as they danced back to the ground. It really was a beautiful sight to behold. Amazing, huh? Alexis asked as the pellets of water fell back to the ocean beneath them. Most people would just ignore this and not pay any mind. She smiled a smile that got Jaden's lips to upturn into a small one as well. But I like the small things in life. The stuff that you wouldn't see right away is important. I get ya, Jaden nodded. Naruto always told me. Things like a beautiful day, friends, family, and love are what I see as the precious in life. Alexis smirked, and dueling. Jaden grinned, you know it. They both look out the window staring at the open ocean. Look out at the sea like this, reminds me of this one time Naruto took me to the beach. Alexis turned to Jaden with an interested look. Oh, what happened? It was just him and me, we spent all our time playing in the water, burying each other in the sand. But the most fond memory I have is him giving me my deck. Jaden said as reached into his pocket and pulled out his deck. Naruto gave it to you? Alexis asked with surprise as Jaden nodded. Yep, Naruto taught me everything about duel monsters, especially treating your cards with love and respect like their family. Jaden said. He also told something I'll never forget. As long as you have something or someone precious that you want to protect, you'll never lose. Jaden said passionately. Alexis gave a sad smile. He sounds like great big brother. What's up, Lex? He didn't know he was blushing at the nickname he gave her, as was she. Something wrong? She sighed. It's just that Naruto remind me so much of a family member that I lost, and seeing how you and he act sorta reminds me of him. She couldn't stop the words before they came out, but they felt good to say the least. I know the feeling. If I lost bro, I don't think I'd ever be the same. After my dad passed away, Naruto became everything to me. Jaden frowned at the memory of his father. 2 years ago, Jaden and Naruto's father Yugioh died. It was during a special tournament duel. His opponent had unleashed a monster none of them had seen before, destroying the arena. They searched everywhere, but no one had found a trace of him. Their mother Ayaka had cried for days over the death of her husband. Jaden had locked himself in his room. Naruto had spent the whole time comforting Jaden, letting cry as long as he wanted. Since then, Naruto had been both brother and father to him. I'm so sorry to hear that, Alexis admitted as she made eye contact with him again. They both stared into the other's eyes almost intently. Meanwhile, in another section of the academy building, Naruto began to flinch uncontrollably. My big brother sense is tingling. Naruto thought Jaden is. He's finally noticing girls. Naruto cried, falling to his knees, crying tears of sadness as brother was growing up. Want to watch the waves until our next class? Alexis asked. Jaden nodded. Sure. As both Obelisk and Slifer stared at the waves splashing against the rocks, they both didn't realize that they just created a thing between them that would go on for, hopefully, a long time. He hears something of in the distance. No. 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 Do you hear that? Alexis asks. No. 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 Yeah, and it's getting closer. Jaden says. And it sounds just like they both thought until Jaden was pounced on by Naruto. Back evil she-devil. Naruto said, standing protectively in front of his little brother, you shall not taint this boy's innocences today, oh hey Alexis. Naruto stopping mid-rant, nothing, it was the obelisk queen. Hey Alexis, greeted the older Yuki rather awkwardly. In all truth, Naruto had known Alexis had a crush on his kid brother and was supportive of the two should Jaden ever get common sense into his brain. I gotta go. Naruto said, taking off, leaving two dumbfounded teenagers. Let me guess, overprotective. Alexis said with a chuckle as Jaden rubbed his head. Little did either know young red-haired girl was looking at Jaden, clenching her hand into tight fist, glaring at the hero user with anger and jealously. Later that night, Crowler stood alone on the docks next to the lighthouse, waiting. After an eternity of waiting, he was about to give up when he heard footsteps behind him. He turned around and saw a person in black standing a few feet away from him. Later that night, Crowler stood alone on the docks next to the lighthouse, waiting. After an eternity of waiting, he was about to give up when he heard footsteps behind him. He turned around and saw a person in black standing a few feet away from him. One of these people was a tall man in a black trench coat and a widowbrimmed hat. Crowler looked back to the man. So you're the one they called the shadow duelist? He asked. The tall man smirked, my opponents call me many things, but most of them are hard to discern through their shrieks of horror. What's the job? He asked as a fog appeared around them. Crowler smiled as he informed him of the work, displaying a picture of both Jaden and Naruto. I want you to frighten two people so intensely they'll leave this island and never come back. Are you up to the challenge? Of course I am. The shadow duelist replied. I never turn my back on a challenge, neither does my underling. Underling? Crowler asked, but then felt a hand on his shoulder and tensed up. When he turned around, he saw another person through the fog wearing dark shades. Who? Hhhh. Crowler shrieked as he hid behind the shadow duelist. Who's that? Allow me to introduce my associate, Anarchy. He's as vicious as I am. The shadow duelist assured. Yes, well, who do I make the check out to? Titan, the shadow duelist replied. And we'll make sure these two face the terror of the shadow realm. The fog disappeared, taking the hired men with them. Now that was lucky that he had a partner with him, Crowler said as he left. I can't wait to hear all about how Jaden and Naruto screamed like little girls. Crowler laughed as he walked away. The Slifer gang was walking through the woods, Yusei, and Akiza had stayed behind to do some finishing touches on the duel systems. You know, you could think of it as being lost, Jaden said after another failed find. Or you could think of it as us finding a few places where it's not. Naruto rolled his eye at the poor joke as he held a flashlight forward, standing behind Jaden and Mana, but in front of Chumlee and Cirrus. Well, it could be worse, you know, Chumlee thought out loud. Well, worse for Cirrus anyway. Like how? Jaden asked. We could find a large puddle of dirty swamp water, Chumlee taunted the younger one. Cirrus and Mana glared at him. Shut up. Chumlee, you're the one who refused to take a bath last night because you were scared of the bathwater. Cirrus yelled, causing Naruto laugh, recalling Yusei passing out from the smell of Chumlee's pits. Hey guys, check it out, Mana aimed her flashlight ahead of them. They looked ahead to see a rose lying on the ground in front of a wall. Cirrus tugged at Jaden's sleeve, look what's behind it. Jaden looked up to see a run-down building with boards and debris everywhere. The old dorm. Naruto gasped. Chumlee moved behind the rest of the boys, and it probably got lots of ghosts in there, too. Relax, Chumlee, no one's here, Jaden assured him. Naruto was about to speak when a loud snapping sound was heard. What was that? Cirrus freaked. Jaden turned and watched Alexis and Mito step into his flashlight. Hey you two, what are you doing here? He asked. Alexis frowned, funny, we were about to ask you guys the very same thing. Well, we heard about the dorm and wanted to check it out, Jaden explained for him and his friends, not missing the hateful glare Naruto was giving a nervous Mito. Well, you shouldn't have. Don't you know that kids have a way of disappearing around here? Alexis inquired, walking closer to them. Believe me, I know. Why else would the academy close this place off? She told them. Plus, it's completely forbidden. If any faculty catches any of you here, you will get expelled. Mito warned. Jaden grinned and said to them both, then what are you two doing here? He wondered. The Queen of Obelisk Blue turned bright red. I have my reasons, that's why. She snapped. The Tommy pointed to her. I'm making sure she doesn't get caught. Jaden shrank back at the tone of Alexis's voice. Hey Alexis, we just came to look around. Don't worry, we'll stay out of your way, I promise. Alexis sighed and walked a short distance away. It's just that. Just what? Cirrus asked. One of the kids here that disappeared was my brother. She finished quietly. Naruto and Jaden looked away and stared at the rose on the ground. That explains the rose, they both thought. If Alexis's brother really was one of the kids that disappeared, then the rumors about this place were true the whole time. Jaden mumbled to himself. He remembered the look of sadness on her face earlier in the day when they talked about family. Now it made sense why. That must be the family she lost. Cirrus looked at the old building again. I say we go back, guys. Sorry Cirrus, but I've got a reason to stay. Naruto said in a serious tone. Alexis then raised an eyebrow. Oh, and what reason is that? She asked. It's because Kaiba and Pegasus sent us here to investigate the abandoned dorm. Mana chimed, shocking the group. Mana? That was classified information. We don't need our investigation being compromised. Naruto yelled while Mana stood calmly. Chill out Naruto, this way Jaden and the boys won't get into trouble. We can tell Chancellor Shepard they're helping us with the investigation. Mana pointed out, causing Naruto pause. Oh yeah, you're right. Naruto said, damn, why didn't I think of that? Then Naruto turned to the dorm. If Alexa's story is true, then this entire investigation is starting to sound like a horror movie come to life, he said as he hopped over the chain. He and Jaden, Mana and Cirrus started to make their way to the dorm. We should head back, you guys, quivered Chumlee. Chumlee, you better come over here, so help me, I'll come over there and drag you here. Naruto shouted. The Cole weighed his options and voted to follow. Hey, wait up, he said, trying to catch up with his friends. Jaden turned back to the obelisk duo. See you later, you guys. Don't worry. We'll find some clues on your brother, Lex. Jaden promised before disappearing inside. Alexis and Mito stayed outside for a little while longer. Mito stared at the door. That's really sweet. She smiled. Willing to risk expulsion just to find clues on Atticus. She smirked towards her friend. You gotta keep her in him. She teased. As a friend. Alexis quickly defended. Geez. Don't start back up on hooking me up like when we were kids. She warned. The girls were so busy arguing that they failed to notice two shadows creeping up behind them before they were snatched into the night, screaming the scream all horror movie producers searched and would kill for. Back with the Slifers, they were checking out the inside of the dorm. It was more rundown inside than outside. Looked like an inside storm hit the rooms and halls. Jaden laughed, sorry, but you know, this place is sweet. I mean, with some fresh paint, a couple of boxes and a throw rug we could so totally move in here. You know Jay, you're right, I say we pack up and move in. The Yuki brothers laughed before Mana slapped them upside the head. You're kidding, right? Cirrus asked. This place is worse than the Slifer dorm. I mean, look at this. He pointed his light to a nearby wall. On it was a large amount of symbols and letters carved or painted on. What the heck is all this? Do you think it has to do with the Shadow Games banner was talking about? Chumlee thought aloud, looking at the marks. Naruto knelt down, pulling out a computer and headset. Yusei Anarchy read. Yusei's image appears on the computer as he and Akiza communicate through the Yusei Go's screen. Yeah, Naruto, what's up? We're inside the abandoned dorm and have just discovered these symbols of the Millennium items and something else. I'm sending it to you right now. Naruto said as he took shots of the wall and saw hieroglyphics and several images of the Millennium items and transferred them to Yusei. I'll send this to Pegasus-san and Sensei right away. Be careful, guys. Right, Naruto said, shutting off the screen. As Jaden looked around the dorm, he soon discovers a picture with a student he'd never seen before. Unknown location. Alexis and Mito woke up and find themselves bound and in a creepy coffin. Where are we? Mito asked as a creepy laugh was heard. Don't worry my dears, you're merely the bait to lure my quarry to me, the voice said. Naruto, Jaden, they gasped. Then a golden slit eye appeared, glowing gold, thus blinding THM. Aya. That sounded like Sira said. Mito and Alexis. Naruto and Jaden yelled as they followed the scream to a cavern where they found Heratoil Cyber and Luster Dragon. Oh man. Cirrus whined. Both of them. What do we do? I'll tell you, Naruto said. He shared a quick nod with Jaden. Okay, Cirrus, you and Mana go with Jaden to find Alexis and Chumlee, come with me to look for Mito. Shouldn't we all stay together? Then something can happen with the girl we don't go after. I don't like it either, but this is the best way. He assured. If you say so, Sira said as he and Mana followed Jaden and Chumlee and Naruto headed the opposite direction. You'll help if we run into any ghosts, right? Chumlee asked. Naruto gave a small smile of amusement. Don't worry chum, no ghost are gonna mess with you with me around. The two Slifers came to a set of stairs that led down into a basement. Naruto just stared while Chumlee was more jumpy. The basement is the last place that you go in places like this. Naruto started heading down the stairs, Chumlee looking on in shock. Didn't you hear me? But nonetheless, he followed him down the creepy stairwell. I think I'm about to pee myself. Chumlee groaned. Chumlee, don't you dare. Naruto snapped, I had enough of that when Jaden was 10. He mumbled lowly. When the pathway got darker, spikes dangling from the ceiling as he and Naruto came across to a small area with a symbol carved on the floor. Chumlee caught eye of something ahead of him. "Look." Naruto glanced and saw Mito tied in a coffin. She was unconscious, but looked okay otherwise. Coming from around the coffin was a tall man wearing a black coat and dark shades, and everything else black but the flame-red sides of his jeans. He laughed. "And my prey has arrived." He laughed maniacally. "You're Anarchy, the notorious pyro duelist," Naruto said. Anarchy smiled. "It is an honor to be recognized by a pupil of the King of Games," Anarchy said with a bow, shocking both Slifers. "How do you?" "The good duelist always stays up on the competition," Anarchy replied. "Well, now that the introductions are done, head over the obelisk," Naruto demanded. "Okay," Anarchy said with a shrug. "What?" Naruto and Chumlee yelled in unison in deep disbelief at the man's response. "Go ahead, take her, I don't care," Anarchy repeated nonchalantly, looking at his nails. "This was Titan's idea anyways, I just do this shadow duelist thing for some quick cash." "Shadow duelist?" Naruto repeated. "Yeah, my boss Titan goes around pretending he can use the power of the shadow games. Kind of stupid if you ask me, even made a cheap copy of the Millennium Puzzle," Anarchy stated without a single care in the world. In truth, he knew very well the seriousness of the shadow games and how they are meant to be feared. "Are you serious?" Naruto said with a sweat drop, and Anarchy nodded. Naruto now felt he didn't need to worry much about Jaden's safety. So then the pyro duelist lifted up his sleeve to reveal a red and black duel disc in the shape of fire as slip in his deck. "How about a duel to pass the time?" Naruto smirked and did the same. Why not? Now that there wasn't any real danger, what was the harm in a duel? Naruto, are you sure about this?" Chumlee said with worry. "Don't sweat it, chum." "Ready?" Naruto asked as Anarchy grinned. "Let's duel," the both said in unison. "If it's not a problem, I'll start," Anarchy said as he drew his 6th card and smirked. "Well, it appears I've already drawn my trump card. First I play the spell card Meteor of Destruction." He held up the spell card as a ball of fire started forming in the air. "Since you have over 3,000 points, I can deal 1,000 damage to you." Chumlee started shivering. "So not licious," he mumbled. Anarchy smirked as the ball of fire rained and struck Naruto. "Naruto. 3,000. Anarchy. 4,000. I summoned Solar Flare Dragon in attack mode. A dragon made up of fire appeared by Anarchy. 1,500, 1,000, and after a face down I end, which activates my dragon's effect, causing you to lose 500 points. The fire dragon breathed a ball of flames and shot it at Naruto, who fell to a knee as he clutched his chest. Naruto. 2,500. Anarchy. 4,000. 1,500 points of damage in one turn. Chumlee gasped. That's the first time I've seen anyone damage Naruto's life points. He then glanced at his kneeling friend with worry. That is until he heard something coming from Naruto. It was a low noise, but it soon got louder. Hee ha ha ha. Chumlee looked at the blonde Slifer in shock. Naruto was laughing. Man, that was some opening move, Naruto said, getting on his feet with a smirk. Not bad, I've been waiting for a real challenge. I know how you feel, all I've come across since I started working with Titan are nothing but weaklings. Anarchy said, grinning like Naruto, but I can tell you will be a true opponent. It's your turn. Why thank, Naruto said as he drew his cards. For my first move I'm gonna play my Pot of Greed to get 2 new cards. Next I Polygateway of the 6 and 6 Samurai United, Naruto said, setting his 2 spells. Now I'll special summon Elder of the 6 Samurai, 400 in defense mode. Next I'll summon Legendary 6 Samurai Kageki, 200 2000s. A samurai warrior clad in metallic brown armor with gold lines that were like circuit paths. In each hand he carried a sword. On the samurai's back, connected to his helmet by 2 metal cables, was a pair of mechanical arms, each carrying its own sword. Now I'll activate his special ability to bring another 6 samurai to the field. I play Kagemusha, 400 1800s. Naruto said as the green-clad warrior kneeled beside the others. Next I'll destroy my 6 Samurai United and draw 2 cards, and then my gateway to add a new 6 Samurai to my hand, he said as he drew 2 cards, then searched his deck before taking Kaizen. Now that I've got another 6 Samurai, I can special summon Kaizen, 1800 500, also when there are other 6 Samurais on the field. Kageki gains 1500 attack points and Kaizen 300. 200 1700, 1800 to 2100. Anarchy whistled 4 monsters in just 1 turn. But I suspect there's more to come, he said with a smirk, which Naruto returned. You bet, because I tune level 2 Kagemusha with my level 3 Elder, Naruto said as both monsters jump into the air, Kagemusha becoming 3 green rings surrounding the Elder, who became 3 orbs. May your blade be true and your will be strong as your sword, Naruto chanted. A pillar of light appears behind him. Synchro summon. Appear before me legendary 6 Samurai Cheyenne, 2500-1400, Naruto roared as the giant pillar of light disappeared and was replaced with a warrior clad in red samurai armor and was carrying a serrated edge katana. Anarchy looked at Naruto's red armored warrior in awe. Wow, so that's the famous synchro summoning I've heard rumors about, not bad. Sweet, that's Naruto's ace, Chumli cheered. Battle. Kageki destroy solar flare dragon. Naruto commanded as Kageki swung each of his 4 blades slicing the fiery serpent, causing it to shatter. Naruto. 2500. Anarchy. 3800. Now Cheyenne Kaizen direct attack. Both warriors nodded, drawing their swords. Not so fast. Anarchy declared, holding up a trap card in his hand. I play Inferno Slasher, by discarding this card I can have all the damage I take this round. A huge pillar of flames blocks both Kaizen and Cheyenne's swords, while Anarchy grits his teeth in slight pain. Naruto. 2500. Anarchy. 1500. Anarchy fell to his knees, breathing rather heavily. Naruto was doing the same, both with excited smiles. Chumli and Mito however were shocked. Normally when Naruto went one-on-one he'd win in just one turn. But this guy was more than holding his own. First being able to deal 1500 points of damage to Naruto on his very first turn, now he'd blocked his one-turn kill, and the strange thing is these two were enjoying it. I'll set a card and end my turn. Naruto said as a reversed card appeared in front of him. Now thanks to the other effect of my Inferno Slasher, I can special summon a pyro-type monster from my deck. Anarchy held up his deck and looked through the various monsters until he came across one card, causing a red jolt to shoot through him. I see you want to fight too. A red aura surrounded Anarchy's body, taking the form of flaming red and orange aura. The aura burst from him, causing strong winds to kick up inside the room, forcing Naruto and Chumli to hold up their arms to cover their eyes. Naruto felt a burning sensation on his back as his eyes began to glow crimson. What is this power? It feels so familiar. Naruto thought before his eyes widened. 13-year-old Naruto was sitting at a table alongside a boy the same age. He wore a red striped t-shirt and brown pants, he had short brown hair and brown eyes. I summon elemental hero Terra Firma. The boy said, placing the card on the table. Naruto smiled, using your ace monster so soon, Koyo. The boy just smiled back. Infernal god of war and fire, bring forth an inferno of utter destruction. Anarchy chanted as several pillars of fire burst from the ground in the center, a giant red orb began to form. Arise now, the blazing Mars, 2600-2200. Anarchy yelled as a beast emerged from the sphere. It was a muscular man completely made of magma. It had no legs, but a huge dragon mouth made of magma, instead it floated in midair. The blazing Mars. Naruto said, stunned. Chumli and Mito were also in shock at the massive monster. Mito had heard several rumors about cards like this one, but had never seen it. Next I'll activate Graceful Charity, now we each must draw until we hold 6 cards. He said as both duelists drew 6 cards. Now I'll use double summon, this lets me call out 2 more solar flare dragons. 2 more fire serpents appeared with Mars in the center. 1500-1000. Now I'll activate Mars' special ability, by destroying all other monsters on my field I can deal 500 damage. Anarchy said as both his dragons became pillars of fire that engulfed Naruto. Naruto grit his teeth as his cloths began to slowly burn away and singe his body. Nai-san, Naruto, Mito and Chumli yelled with worry as Naruto fell to his knees. Naruto. 1500. Anarchy. 1500. Well, looks like we're all tied up again. Anarchy said. Yeah, I guess we are. Naruto replied. But not for long. I activate double attack now by discarding one monster whose level is higher, Blazing Mars can attack twice. Anarchy said as he discards Infernal Flame Emperor. Now Mars wipe out Cheyenne with Dragon's Pyro Roar. Mars Dragon have opened its mouth releasing a swirling torrent of fire, causing Cheyenne to roar in pain. Naruto-sama, forgive me. He said before shattering. Cheyenne, Naruto said sadly, watching one of his oldest monsters destroyed. Naruto. 1400. Anarchy. 1500. No way. He took out Naruto's best card. Chumli exclaimed. Now for you, Kaizen. Mars unleashed another stream of flames, destroying another of Naruto's monsters. Plus with one less 6 Samurai Kaizen's attack points returned to 1800 and with him now gone. I know Kageki's attack points go back down to 200. Naruto finished as both his monsters weakened Kageki. 1700-200, Kaizen. 2100-1800. Naruto. 600. Anarchy. 1500. It's my turn, Naruto said as he drew. I activate my face down Call of the Haunted to revive Cheyenne. He said as a purple portal opened and the Crimson Samurai emerged. Now with him back, Kageki gets his power back. Kageki. 200-1700. Now I special summon Grandmaster of the 6 Samurai. 2100-800. Now I'll activate the spell card Natural Tuning. This lets me turn one level 4 or lower monster into a tuner. He said, surprising everyone. Now Kageki will give my Grandmaster a tune-up. Naruto said as both monsters jump into the air, Kageki becoming 3 rings of light surrounding the Grandmaster. Naruto's right are soon beginning to glow with a mark resembling a dragon's head, which did not go unnoticed by Mito, whose eyes widened. In an inferno of power and might, a blazing new beast is now forged. Naruto chanted and soon a pillar of light appeared behind him. Synchro summon. Come forth my very soul. Red Dragon Archfiend, 3000-2000. Naruto roared as the pillar disappeared and soon a giant vicious dragon with red and black skin with demonic features appeared behind him. The dragon let out a mighty roar that created a powerful shockwaves and created several cracks on the ground. Chumli fell on his but quivering in slight fear at the massive monster Naruto had just summoned. Anarchy on the other was in awe at the mighty creature. Now I activate the spell card. Gift of the Marty. Now I contribute on monster on my failed and raise another monster's attack points equal to the monster that was tributed. Naruto looked to Cheyenne who nodded, becoming a crimson energy that infused with Red Dragon Archfiend, causing it to roar with power. Red Dragon. 3000 to 5500. 5500, attack point. Anarchy gasped. Now finish this battle Red Dragon Archfiend with absolute force. Naruto commanded. The dragon let out a roar before it dives down towards Mars with its claws set on fire. Soon an explosion happened when impact was made and a huge smoke was created pushing both duelists back. Naruto. 600. Anarchy. 0. Anarchy staggered to his feet looking up with a smirk clutching his arm, he turned towards the end. But before he could take another step Naruto called out. Anarchy. Causing the pyro duelist to stop in his tracks and turn to Naruto. Where did you get the planet card? Anarchy looked at blazing Mars and shrugged his shoulders. Don't know, some old guy just gave me the card. Naruto could sense no lies in his voice. Then let me ask this, did you have anything to do with Koyohibiki's accident? He said with a demanding tone. Koyohibiki, wasn't he the Japanese champion? Chumli asked how did Naruto know him? Anarchy turned towards the samurai user with a serious expression on his face. Well if you must know he begging. Chapter 8. Naruto glared at the pyro duelist he had just faced. The pyro duelist who possessed the blazing Mars, a legendary planet. Just like that of one of his longtime best friends Koyo. Anarchy and Naruto stared down one another, neither moving an inch or blinking an eye, a red aura surrounded both of them, while Chumli and Mito looked on in silence. Anarchy sighed. Very well then, he said. The truth is Naruto waited with anticipate. He would finally find a clue to who had attacked his best friend and put him in a coma for over the last 2 years. But what I heard was not what he expected. I have absolutely no idea. Anarchy said with comical shrug. The serious atmosphere that once filled the room quickly vanished. Both the Slifer and Obelisk face faltered while Naruto's sweat dropped. What? Are you kidding me? Naruto yelled so loudly it had its own shock wave. Yep. Anarchy said nonchalantly. But then how did you get a planet monster? Naruto asked. Oh this thing. Anarchy said holding up Mars. Some old guy saw me dueling one time and just gave it to me. He never said why though. Only I was destined for it. An old man. Naruto repeated as a memory flashed of Yusei, Koyo and himself, meeting an elderly cloaked man who handed Koyo his terra firma. Take this card, something tells me you are destined for it. The old man said as he walked away. Hey wait, Koyo called out only to be too late for the man had vanished. He looked down at the card he'd just been given with awe he'd never seen anything like. Elemental hero terra firma. Was this old man dressed in a tattered brown cloak? Naruto asked Anarchy who became surprised. Yeah he was, you met him before? He asked. Naruto nodded. Yes is the one who gave Koyo his card. Did say who else he'd given them to? Naruto said. Nope sorry man I don't. Anarchy was cut off as the old dorm begging to shake and a dark black substance begging to leak from the floor. Oh no. That idiot Titan. He cursed as he held up Mars creating a portal of fire. He turned his attention back to the 3 other teens. You guys might wanna hightail it out of here. WWY? Asked a fearful Chumli. Titan Naruto said answering the Cola boy's question. He's angered the spirits of the Shadow Realm. That's right so if I were you guys I'd get out of this old dump before you get sucked into the shadows. He said as he entered the portal. He then paid one last glance at Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki we will duel again. Anarchy said friendly grin. I look forward to it. Naruto said as the planet user vanished. He then turned back to the 2 behind him. Come on we've got to get to Jaden and the others. He said as they rushed up the stairs to find their friends before the shadows got them. Jaden however was not so fortunate. After he Cirrus and Mana had found Alexis they had ran into a man claiming to be a shadow duelist, but Jaden knew better. The young Slifer eventually did expose the man named Titan as the fake he was, bit before the duel could continue and further boy of them had been sucked into dark black void, surrounded by a large mass of black shadow demons. The creatures quickly attacked Titan first and now covered his body. But as the creatures drew closer to Jaden his deck began to glow, and Wing Kuribo appeared alongside his was female demonic angle with green and orange monochromatic eyes, and her name Yubble. "What are these things?" Jaden asked. "Shadow spirits, they are inhabitants of the shadow realm that devour those who show the power of the shadows disrespect," Yubble said as she and Kuribo pushed the creatures back. "Man bro was right, never play around with the shadow games," Jaden said. Titan was no longer covered by the massive slimy blobs, but he wasn't like he was before. His voice were more sinister and his eyes were glowing bright red behind his mask. "Jaden Yuki, the shadows hunger and they will be fed," he said, baring a pair of shark-like teeth as his veins began to become visible and his skin turned purple. "What's happening to him?" Jaden asked with horror. Meanwhile Naruto and the others ran down the halls until he found the room Jaden and the others were in. When he entered the room he saw a giant circle in the middle and giant dark ball. "What the heck is that?" Naruto said as he saw the giant dark ball. "Naruto, is that you?" a voice said, and Naruto turned his direction and saw Cirrus and Mana who was helping Alexis out of the coffin. "Where's Jaden?" Naruto asked and Cirrus pointed at the giant dark ball. "He's in there," Cirrus said. "Alright, I will go help Jaden while you two watch over them," Naruto said before he started running towards the giant dark ball. "Naruto, wait!" Cirrus and Chumlee shouted as they tried to stop Naruto, but it was too late. Naruto already dived towards the ball and went inside it. "Don't worry." Everyone turned to Mana who was completely calm. "He'll be fine." Meanwhile when Naruto finally entered the orb he saw Jaden dueling against a man who he could only guess was Titan. But what surprised him was the strange transformation the faux shadow duelist was going through, but unfortunately he would need to worry about that another time. "Jaden!" Naruto shouted, causing Jaden to turn around and saw Naruto coming towards him. "Bro, what are you doing here?" Jaden said and he saw Naruto. "I came here to get you out of here, but I don't think this guy will just let us leave," Naruto said as he and Jaden turned towards Titan whose eyes flared at them. "Don't worry bro, I got this," Jaden said as he stepped up. "You sure? This is your first real shadow game?" Naruto asked while Jaden nodded. The elder Yuki could only smirk then kick his ass baby bro, he said, making Jaden give his trademark smile. "Alright Red Eyes, it's my turn," Jaden said as he drew his next card. "I play the spell card Monster Reincarnation. I discard a card from my hand to bring back Elemental Hero SPARKMAN 1600-1400 to my hand, then I summon him to the field in defense mode," Jaden said as Sparkman appeared to the field with his arms crossed in his chest and kneeled down with one knee. "But that I end my turn. My move draw." The Titan as he draw his card. "Now since the Pandemonium field is gone. Your monster Skull Archfiend 2500-1500 effects activates causing you to lose 500 life points," Jaden said and a dark smoke came out from the Titan's mouth. "Titan? 1400. Jaden? 600. That's as nothing compared to a soul. Now Skull Archfiend attack," the Titan said as his monster release a thunder attack towards Jaden other monster that was Dark Catapulter. 1500s. Then I set one card face down and summoned Esric Archfiend 1100-800 in attack mode and end my turn, the Titan said as monster appeared in the field. "Draw," Jaden said as he draw his card. "I switch Sparkman in attack position, then I equip with a card called Spark Blaster. This card allows to change the monster position and I could use it 3 times. Now I attack your Desric Archfiend," Jaden said and Sparkman released a thunder shot from his hand and destroyed Desric Archfiend. "Titan? 900. Jaden? 600. Now I use Spark Blast to change Sparkman back to defense position and end my turn," Jaden said as Sparkman kneels down again. "Good job Jaden," Naruto said and Jaden just gave him a thumbs up. "Trap card active. Battle scarred," Titan shouted, causing the two Slifer to look at him back. Naruto eyes widen in shock as he saw this card. "Shit," Naruto cursed. "What's wrong bro? What that does that card do?" Jaden asked. "That card is a continuous trap. Titan has to choose one Archfiend monster on his field and this causes both players to pay their life points, that is depend on the monster effect," Naruto explained, and this caused Jaden to look at him with wide eyes and turns back at the duel field with a nervous look on his face. "Draw," Titan said and his and Jaden life points goes down. "Titan? 400. Jaden? 100. Now Skull Archfiend attacks Sparkman," Titan ordered and Skull Archfiend shoots lightning towards Sparkman and destroyed it. "Now I place one card face down and use the magic card double spell. This allows me to discard one card from my hand and activate one of your spell card from your graveyard and I choose emergency provision," Titan said as the set card was disappeared from the field. Titan. 1400. Jaden. 100. You better make this turn count, Jaden. If you lose, I'm kicking your ass. Naruto said to Jaden. Jaden just nodded at him and placed a hand on his deck. My move. Jaden said as he draw his card. Yes. I special summon elemental hero Bubbleman, 800 1200s, in attack position. Jaden said, and a guy that was wearing blue hero costume with a white cape hanging from behind. Since Bubbleman is the only card in my hand, I'm allowed to special summon him, and if he's the only card on the field, I can draw 2 more cards. Jaden said as he draw 2 more cards to his hand. Now I used a magic card bubble shuffle. This is how it works. If Bubbleman is in the field and my opponent has monster on his side, I can switch them both in defense mode. Then I tribute Bubbleman to special summon a hero from my hand. We will see about that. I used Skull Archfiend special effect. I can render that stupid magic card of yours if the number hits in the number 1, 3 or 6. Your card will be useless. The Titan said as 6 balls of numbers that has the number 1 ignited with fire. Soon the fire started running around the numbers. Don't hit 1, 3 or 6. Naruto thought as he and Jaden watches the fire with narrowed eyes. Soon the fire finally stopped and landed on the number 2. What? 2? The Titan shouted in shock. Yes. The 2 brothers shouted for joy and soon both monster were now in defense position. Now I sacrificed to Bubbleman to bring out elemental hero blade EDGE 2600 1800. Jaden said as Bubbleman disappeared in the field and was replaced with someone wearing a golden armor costume. Now Bladage has a piercing effect, meaning that all extra damage goes to you. Now attack elemental hero Bladage. Slice and dice attack. Jaden commanded. Soon Bladage rushes towards the Skull Archfiend and slice him into 2. Titan. 0. Jaden. 100. And that's game. Jaden said as he did his signature pose. Soon Titan was being covered with the dark slime monsters. Help me. Please help me. Titan said as he screamed for help, but Jaden and Naruto just ignored him. Come on, let's get out of here. Naruto said and Jaden nodded. Yubel opened a portal and the 2 brothers quickly jumped out, leaving Titan to his fate. The group of 7 stood outside the dorm as the sun rose. What a night, huh? Cirrus asked. Kidnappings, Jaden and Naruto dueling to save them, plus a freaky display of shadows. Chumley listed. And it's only the 2nd week of school. Jaden chuckled before he turned to the girls. We found your cards. Jaden handed Alexis her Etoile Cyber card and Mito her Luster Dragon. And look at what else we found. Jaden showed Alexis the photograph they obtained. Alexis's eyes started to tear up. It's my brother. She said. This is the first trace of him I've seen in a long time. Atticus? Mito asked in astonishment as she looked over the picture. Did he get caught up in this shadow game mess? He must have, considering the story of this place. Alexis guessed. Well, we brought it to let you know we want to help find your brother, Alexis. Jaden added. Besides, we can't have you locked in any more tombs. Alexis smiled. Thank you, Jaden. Thank you for saving me. Jaden grinned. It was nothing. Other than almost losing himself to the Shadow Realm, things went pretty good for him. Mito turned over to Naruto and attempted to thank him only to be shot a hate-filled glare. Come on guys, we've got to report back to Chancellor Shepard about what went on here tonight. Naruto said as the others followed, leaving Alexis and Mito behind. Mito, are you okay? Alexis asked with worry, seeing her best friend full of sadness. Why yeah, it's nothing. Mito said as she wiped a lone tear from her eye. She then remembered her brother's duel earlier against Anarchy and the symbol that had appeared on his right arm and the dragon he'd used. Across the elemental nations, Pepple had heard legend of a great beast of unbridled power that had surpassed even the Biju, and it was named the Crimson Dragon. It was also said that there were 5 chosen warriors who bared the 5 marks of the dragon on their bodies. They were no axe the signers. She knew her parents would be very surprised by this when she informed them about Naruto. Meanwhile, Naruto, Mana, Yusei, and Akiza were giving their reports on the abandoned dorm to Chancellor Shepard. To say the former cyber schoolmaster was shocked was an understatement. Are you certain about this, Naruto? He asked. Yes sir, it seems that someone was using the students at the abandoned dorm for some kind of ritual or experiment. Naruto said, handing Jim the files he'd gathered. It's not, but these files give information on the students elected to take part in these special tests. The headmaster looked over the files. This could not be the work of some common cult or individual. This was an inside job. The chancellor said, shocking the group. You're saying someone from Duel Academy was behind this? Akiza said. Yes Akiza, many of the students here were all gifted with the power to see dual spirits, or at least sense them. Nobody but those of the faculty knew this information. Shepard said with hardened eyes, angered at the fact someone from his school would be abusing his students' gifts for twisted purposes. We'll find out who's behind it, Chancellor Shepard. Mana said. No Mana, you kids have done more than enough. The elderly man said, his voice returning to his polite tone. But Sir Yusei stopped when Shepard held up his hand. Don't worry, I'll be giving a full investigation into the school's faculty, past and current. We'll find out who's responsible. He assured the group, who nodded. The 4 duelists soon left out the room and made their way to the Slifer dorm. Hey Naruto? Yusei asked, getting the blonde boy's attention. Are you sure that this Anarchy guy is related to Koyo's accident? No, Yusei, but one this for sure. The old man who gave terra firma to Koyo also gave the Mars to him. Naruto set an image of both planet monsters behind along with their respective owners. So he probably gave one to the bastards who put Koyo in the hospital. Mana said. The 4 duelists still remember that dreadful day as if it were yesterday. The large explosion echoed throughout Domino City. 13-year-old Naruto and Yusei were running down the alleyway until they came to a sight that horrified them. Laying on the ground, bruised and blood leaking from his head, was their best and brother Koyo Hibiki. Standing over him was a duelist who was cloaked in darkness and fire. The only thing they could see were the yellow eyes of the monster behind him. The duelist looked at the 2 boys, checking on their friend before he turned and begging to walk away. Hey, asshole. Naruto called out as he ran after the man who had just hurt his best friend but was met by large fist. He readied himself to block it, but instead the fist slammed into the ground, blocking Naruto's path as the duelist walked away. Both Naruto and Jaden had looks of utter frustration on their faces, and the blonde samurai user slammed his fist into the ground, crying out in frustration. Blood leaked from fists that Naruto didn't even know had formed. Swear, Koyo, I'm gonna find out who put you in that hospital bed. And I'll do the same to him. Meanwhile, somewhere in the town of Domino City, a young man stood gazing out into the distance, looking over the city, lights flashing, people walking through the streets laughing and having fun. It made him sick. He sat down and pulled out something from his pocket. It seems that our old friends are still looking for us. Well, they won't have to wait long, right, partner? The young man said to his card as dark purple aura surrounded him. What if Naruto was Yugioh GX? Neglected end here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.